If you like tugging and plugging, then you need to plug in to all of the great deals on sexual wellness products at Fair Villa. That's pretty good. Tugging and plugging. And then you need to plug in. You get it? Like you plug into their wealth of knowledge.
Maybe they do want it.
Fair Villa University. Find them on YouTube. Learn how to pleasure your partner.
Multiple locations, a brand new location in Sanford, right off Reinhardt Road.
Yes.
Whether you want the costumes, the lingerie.
Lingerie. You got some festival wear. Maybe you need some boots.
Yeah.
Maybe you need some kitschy roller skates for a costume party or Halloween coming up.
You want an oversized sequin general hat?
Yeah. If you want an oversized sequin general hat, they got them. They even got them with goggles on the top.
Of course, their mega store right there in OBT. They got a location on the coast, a location in Secrets Hideaway in Kissimmee, down in Key West.
If you want a pair of socks that have a middle finger on them and it says, fuck you, you can get them right there.
Yeah, tons of gag gifts, marijuana-themed gifts. And
coffee mugs and games and dirty dice and then high-end lingerie and really nice gowns and really nice pajamas.
When you're in there, mention that you heard it on Tom and Dan. That
I thought you were going to say another show. I was like, while you're in there, please mention that you heard it and then enter any other show but ours.
You can go to fairvilla.com for all information and follow them on social media. They'll let you know about all their upcoming Fairvilla University deals and everything they got. It's fairvilla.com.
Tugging and plugging.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your mediocre time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
Hey, it is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producer's here. Hello, Sam.
Hey.
The computer's gone crazy.
That's fine.
Nothing I can do about it. On the couch from the Orlando talk show with himself. Also, he has a show that I bought my tickets to, and I printed them out, and they're right here. Mr. Ross McCoy.
Buckle up, snowflakes.
There you go. Buckle up indeed. Welcome to the show, everybody. We're glad to have you.
Is this the week of people being offended by everything?
This is, there's some problems with the computer, so just don't mind me. Carry on, Tom. Carry on.
A couple things. We got the Mo Comedy Jam coming up September 15th. Now, there are limited tickets left. I'm telling you, get your tickets now. This thing will sell out. There's special guests being added. We can't talk about it yet.
There's tacos being added.
Free tacos?
Me and Dan are going to be out there. Ross
Hold
is
on,
hosting
pause.
it.
I booked that show. Who the fuck are they adding?
I'll tell you off air.
Mo is...
Buzz Decker, you got to run this shit by me, dude.
Yeah, Mo is losing his mind. He's just pumping out more and more fun stuff for you guys.
You said tacos. You didn't mention that they're free fucking tacos.
I did. I said free tacos.
This man is going to buy a taco truck and park it out there at Tuffy's and just give tacos away to you fucking assholes.
Open bar. Open bar of
Mo's
tacos.
a good one.
And all the money that the ticket money goes to Yellow Brick Road Foundation. Like it's a charity event, so you are donating to an awesome cause that we supported for years, Yellow Brick Road Foundation.
I'm hoping we can get Trey up on stage and embarrass him again.
Buy your tickets at mocomedyjam.com.
Yes, sir.
And also, we've got a merch deal that Eric just told me about, which I think is too much. Why can't we give 5% off? It's 50%. No, that's what I want to do.
Well,
Either 50%.
If this computer is doing what I think it's doing, then we need to save as much as we can. So, what is the deal?
It's 50% off this weekend only using code LABOR50 for Labor Day.
For the mediocre tar hats and shirts, not for everything. And it's all caps, LABOR50.
Yeah, this is like what we did. This is like what we did with the Elstone pizzas.
Make sure you read it correctly, so you're not just saying that all the merch is 50% off. It's just the mediocre tar hats and shirts. They're right at the top of
the baseball
the
stuff.
Yeah.
I'll say anything.
Well, then you're going to be giving everything away for 50%.
No, there's nothing. If you go there, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And you're like,
this guy's an idiot.
Well, then they might just log out and not know that they can get at least the mediocre merch.
They'll send a shitty email to Dan first.
Yeah, exactly. It always comes to me.
I'll get zero repercussions.
This shit rolls Dan Hill. There you go. Boom.
And we've got a special BDM show on Monday and a special ACTN show on Monday for Labor Day.
ACTN show? What is that? Oh, my God.
You know.
It's very offensive week, I'm telling
what
you.
does that mean?
Is our guest on Zoom?
Oh, my God.
Forgot about them.
Yeah, I did.
Our whole computer's throwing them for a loop.
That's what I'm a little bit worried about. So, I mean, we're in there. Let's see. Uh-oh.
No, our computer's...
You did compensate for the time zones, right? You told them the time zone.
Well, it's obvious.
Okay.
He knows we're in Florida. No, I'm joking. I think now when I'm like trying to talk to
I got him.
Any professional, I always say Eastern. Just in case I don't know they're in California or wherever they're at.
I got Dan, but I don't know if he's going to be able to see us because this computer's gone crazy. Oh, there he is. Hey, we can see you, but you're just going to see our friend Ross on the couch.
Lucky.
Hey,
it's good to see you, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Oh, man, anytime. We're having a computer crisis, but you know all about those because you podcast.
With us on Zoom, he's got a new special out on YouTube. It just came out Monday, Trying to Get Better. Comedian and our friend Dan Cummins. How you doing, Dan?
I'm good, man. Yeah. Things are good. I'm happy that people seem to be liking the special so far. So that's always the anxiety before you put it out there.
So, Dan, tell me about what it takes behind the scenes to film a special, because I know that a lot of comedians do that now themselves, but I don't actually know what that costs or like what that entails.
You can do it all on the iPhone now.
Yeah, because everybody's like, it got cheaper and cheaper, and then I'm like, oh, like $1,500? I don't, I have no idea.
We just did like what Ross said. We just did like right before the show. We just kind of saw like who was out front, maybe not going to the show, and like what about $10 and just try and hold your phone still and just stand somewhere in the back. And we just did about 30 of those people. And then just, cut it together as best we could.
The key is to find a guy who's not sneezing. We want a guy not sneezing.
A steady man. Yeah. Reliable Joe.
No, a lot of comics will go through, a lot of the ones online, like if it's like Dry Bar or 800-Pound Gorilla, they'll go through it. They won't necessarily own it. They'll just go through somebody else's production company and, get some kind of revenue share or something. We did self-finance this one. And it was pretty spendy to make it like, look the same quality as you would see on Netflix.
It
or
looks
something.
awesome. It like I was when I was watching it, one of the things I noticed is the camera angles are like, I don't even know how to say this, but like pleasing for the eyes. Like it's an easy. You want it to be pleasant, right? You want it aesthetically pleasing. It looked really, really good, man.
And Tom, if you're not familiar with the places he just mentioned, like there's a kind of a movement now where like a place will have a setup to film you while you perform, and that's kind of part of the compensation deal now. Like in town, that Milk District comedy show that Jake Ricker runs at Barley and Vine, they've got a real good setup. They've got it mic'd. They've got it lit real well. That's why like every video you see from an Orlando comic now is on that same fucking Barley and Vine stage, because they have a real good setup, and it's part of the deal of performing there. You can just get your video, you get your whole set filmed as a package.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we should have done that. No, we this place, we redesigned the set and like it. We brought in a crew to Minneapolis, and then a buddy of mine directed it who has done a lot of like mostly like reality show stuff, but it's like he's just a really talented, smart guy. But we kind of transformed that Parkway Theater. I think in the end, I don't know, it was about 80,000.
Whoa!
And I hope you did. I didn't see it yet, Dan, but I hope you did what every comic dreams to grow up and do, and get a giant couch like Gallagher. What's funny? Like we for a while there, we were toying with all these like, oh, what crazy set ideas should we do?
And actually, Gallagher is somebody I thought of where it's like the fear for me, if you go too far with like a really oddball set, you know, like it might be cool right now, but like in 15 years, the fear is it looks like what Gallagher looked like 15 years after.
It looks like you pulled your hat off and your hair came with it. Yeah.
Right. Like I don't want to be the equivalent of the guy roller skating out onto the stage and doing like little loops as he opens his set. It doesn't age well.
Dude, my favorite is the guy who brings out a violin case and sets it down on the stool and then never fucking references it.
Yeah, don't acknowledge
That's my favorite.
There was actually, it wasn't a special, but there was this happened there used to be a club in Sioux Falls, South Dakota called Nitwits. And a lot of good comics actually came through, and actually a couple good comics came out of that scene. But one of them, Sean Jordan, who he's, you know, touring and stuff now, he said that one time when Emo Phillips came through that little club, he did a version of that where he set an instrument case. It was like something really random, like I want to say a trombone. And he set it on the stage, you know, did 15, 20 minutes worth of jokes. And then, but he made sure people could see it. Like it was in a very visible place.
Yeah.
And then he opened it, and as he's opening it, the case, he's still telling jokes. He never directly acknowledges it, but he starts cleaning it and like assembling it, and then like, you know, making sure that everything's right. And then with about 5 minutes left in his set, he just starts disassembling it and just puts it back in his case, and then closes the show with like closing the case. Never played it. Never mentioned it.
Love it.
Is that, I mean, do you think he did that for himself to see if, like, hey, like, just for bragging rights, or they're like, I'm going to do this and let's see if I can get away with it?
Emo Phillips is a well-known weirdo.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's pretty quirky.
But what's the reason?
No, I think most of those guys, I think it is a personal achievement, right? Because it's what you enjoy the most.
I mean, imagine like, you know, and he's been doing it so long that there is something the longer you go, or at least with me too, like, you know, you never want to, or at least I never want to just have it be like masturbatory in the sense that I'm just up there to like please myself. But you do have to fight boredom the longer you go.
Right.
And you start doing maybe riskier material or weirder material or something like that just to kind of keep yourself engaged. You know, like you take different chances.
And like Dan's saying, these are not moves for rookies. Like there's stuff that you can say that people couldn't do. Like I worked with a guy one time, a headliner. His first 5 minutes were just moving the stool around. And so like, if I told you, Tom, go up on the stage and just for 5 minutes move the stool around and make people laugh, you could not do it. But this guy had been in the game so fucking long, 5 minutes of just moving the stool around.
That becomes like a SeaWorld mime. Right?
Yeah, kind of.
At some point.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's just like the talent of a stand-up to control the audience, even with minute movements and the way you do things, and like you're talking about minuscule things that you learn that the audience likes. Like that's what really good stand-ups can do, right? You just have so much stage time.
That's where you get your best bits a lot of times too. Like I love my wife Lindsay now, like watching stuff develop. And a couple times now, like she's gotten used to it now after being with me for like over 10 years, where she's like, oh, okay, like more trust in the process.
Right.
But like, some of my weirder bits at first, she's like, that's just, what are you doing? Like that's no one, they don't like that. Like there's this bit on the special that about 2/3 of the way in where I just, this ridiculous rant about hunting and about my brother that got, you know, killed.
It's my favorite part. I loved it. It's so good. But yes, she had a great reaction to that.
Yeah, and a bit like that, when it's so absurd, when you first do it, like it does take a while to get the confidence to be able to commit, especially if it's like a long 8-10 minute bit, because you're going to lose a lot of people for a while. Like, you know, I don't know, like that's a much harder bit to pull off than a 30-second, a 60-second, more just traditionally structured joke about something more relatable.
Do you run it by her in private, or do you do it and then she gets it as a like sort of an audience member the same way, and then you guys talk about it later?
No, I more force premises on her constantly that she doesn't want to hear.
Okay, yes, excellent.
Dan,
that's the way I do it.
Let me ask you, because my wife lately has been going to some shows with me, and like she likes it when I succeed. But for example, I did a Christmas show a few months ago, and it was like a concept thing, and I did a bit, and I ate a fucking dick, and my wife was in the audience, and she loved it. Does your wife like it better when you succeed or when you bomb?
Interesting.
She likes, like, now she's becoming like a jaded comic in the sense she doesn't. I wouldn't say she likes it when I bomb, but she does like it when things get real uncomfortable. Like for the audience, or just like they don't understand what's going on. Like I've been doing a new hour lately, but it's pretty raw and experimental. And the last time I was doing it in Spokane, I had just watched Batman. Oh my God, the one with Tom Hardy, Batman Forever, the one with like Bane.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I had the Bane voice stuck in my head, and like all day long I was just saying stuff like, "You were merely adopted by the darkness. I was born in it, molded by it."
Oh, I love that.
Doing this weird voice, and then I just started doing that on stage. Nobody else in the audience is laughing, but I could hear Lindsay cackling with like this other comic. Like she likes that stuff. Like just like where they're like confused.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dan, I'm curious to why comics or anybody becomes more popular in some cities than others. Is it just totally random happenstance, or have you been able to go? I'm sure, because you like to analyze everything. Have you analyzed why are you more popular in certain cities than others?
It's just like it depends on what you're putting out there of yourself, how opinionated you are. But I know, like, it's been interesting with Time Suck that way, as far as where the episodes have resonated as the years go by, because it has changed. And like, I would say that 3 years ago, I did pretty well in cities that tilted maybe like a little more conservative. And then now all of a sudden, after saying things that I've been saying the whole time, but the culture shifted around me, and now I'm doing better in cities that shift a little bit more to the left. It's like, it's weird where even if you're staying the same, basically, in your point of view, as the election cycle gets going, or it's just so weird to me what triggers people. Like the big thing lately has been LGBTQIA plus stuff. It's like I've been an ally the whole time. No one cared about that until about 6 months ago. And then all of a sudden it was like people just losing their minds because of like weird online propaganda. And that can take different forms. Like during the pandemic, when the riots were happening, I've always also been pretty pro law enforcement. And all of a sudden I was a monster, where it's like a year before, nobody cared. So it just, for me, it varies on like how the culture is kind of shifting.
So speaking of politics, and this is not political at all. This is more ageist, because we like to stay away from politics, and we like to make fun of it. Me and Daniel, and I know you do too, Dan.
I thought I told you not to bring this up because I cannot not laugh at this. I'm sick.
Okay.
Well, are you talking about Mitch McConnell?
Yes. Oh my God! Every time it's shown to me, no matter what, just a picture of him, and I just bust out laughing.
How do we have like between him and Biden? It's like it looks like every time I watch either one of them talk, I'm like, you're maybe 10 seconds away from just dying in front of us.
But why, as a society, like we're everything else, we're racist, we're sexist, but we're not ageist enough. Like
I am. I totally am. I am very ageist.
Why don't dumb old white men? Why don't we run the world?
Why don't we just hate more old people, or at least be ageist against them?
I hated an old lady.
You're supposed to respect the elderly, right?
But why can't we all, as a society, like, be like, once you reach a certain age, your brain doesn't work as well. Right. Your brain is old.
You respectfully put them out on an ice floe and push them out to sea. Very respectfully.
Yeah, the alley-oop way. Yeah, no, it's like, it's like I do respect, like wisdom and stuff from the elders, but when your brain is clearly degrading in front of us, like when you are now again. It was so uncomfortable, that last thing where he just blanked out.
When your brain stops for 30 seconds, that's a problem.
We've seen Mitch McConnell have 2 strokes now. Like, we've actually witnessed it.
I was really glad to be there.
Like watching it,
I was like, what is this? My God. And, I even like that girl. Remember the Tasm girl, the Tasm girl? I love it when people freak out and have accidents on camera. I love it.
And even like Dan mentioned Biden and stuff. I can't even watch when he's
when he falls down. Oh, I love to watch it fall down.
When he's rambling on, I'm like, uncomfortable. I can't watch it. It's like, why?
Remember on the Navy stage? On the Navy stage, he fell over. Oh my God, that's a good one. I love watching old people do
as a society, why can't we just be like, let's elect some younger people, no matter what you think?
I feel like I've been saying that my whole life.
But hold on. Then we won't have any of these great videos. I'll just let you know. You be careful what you wish for.
They won't freeze.
I want my freezers back.
I have a new dream, which is to be that lady who steps into the scene and and blames the guy who asked the question for Mitch McConnell having a fucking stroke.
I know.
You froze him.
Does anybody have a question?
Yes,
Everybody have another question.
Does
That
anybody
one.
have a question that doesn't stroke him out, you assholes?
So
No, it is crazy where it's like my thing when people are that old is like, we need to think more long term with politics in the U.S. It's like so many problems. Like we're not going to fix them in a year. We're not going to fix them in 2 years. It takes like a full generation to turn certain things around. And if you have somebody who is a year away from death, maybe like they don't have a lot of incentive, I feel like, a lot of skin in the game to want to do things that might not be the greatest thing now, but will be great in 5, 10, 20 years. It's like, that's why I would like people about 20, 30 years younger. Still have some experience, but not be so close to death that you're like, I'm just going to think about what's good right this second.
Right.
Yeah. So, Dan, I got to ask you about your son. He went to college. I follow you on Instagram.
Man, I got a little. That gave me some dad heat. I read that, and it got me in the heart, man.
Yeah,
Woo!
it scared me for whatever reason.
That was a rattler.
My sons are only 8 and 9 right now, but it reminded me that they're going to leave the house one day and go off on their own, and I know
not necessarily.
but it's like, but you guys coddle them pretty good.
The way things are going.
You guys coddle them real
I'd
good.
rather them stay.
Dad, I've told him
my friends.
there is a liquor store very close to their house that they can work at.
So how was that, Dan?
It was emotional. It was way more emotional for me, at least, than I expected, where it's like it's that easy, that thing when it's out in the distance to talk about, like, we do believe that we want our kids to go far away from home and like find yourself and like, reimagine yourself and figure out who you are. And then if you want to come back, great. And that is like a super good perspective and cool thing to say until they leave. Mm. And then there's the feelings of like, you know what? I mean, you were doing pretty well at Jimmy John's. You could maybe drop out, take a year off. We could just hang, dude. Let's just play some FIFA in the basement again.
FIFA. Oh, my God. You're getting me, man. I got Maisie playing.
Don't leave me.
Yeah.
Don't leave me.
Yeah, I got Maisie playing Madden now. She's playing video games with me. It's like having my best friend. And then I have my dog, and I know how you are about your dogs. And I have him beside me, and I have my 2 best friends locked and loaded at my side. And my God. It's scary.
Yeah.
Just keep feeding that relationship, knowing that when she leaves the house, she will absolutely forget all about you.
I know. She already does. She already does, man.
No, it is crazy where it's like, I mean, I'm sure he misses us, but it's a funny thing when you drop him off. And it was like the same experience. We've talked to other parents and we would see it firsthand there, where it's like, we're all clingy. We're all like the clingy, girlfriend who just won't leave now. We're moving him in and we're like, hey, let's walk around the campus. And he's being really nice. And he's like, yeah, okay, no, that's cool. And his body language is getting more like uncomfortable. And you could tell like when we finally left, for us, it was like teary eyed and, crying, like hugging him too long. And for him, it was like, get away from me. I'm trying to hang out with my friends and you're making me look like a dork.
Yeah. Can I be serious for a second? Like, do you take that as because I've always looked at you and Lindsay and like I see what you guys do and we've made jokes about it with our relationship with you guys, but I think you guys are like top tier parents and I admire how you do it. Do you take that as I did a good job because look at how confident he's ready to go, like as a compliment?
Logically you do, but like emotionally it's still like, oh, this hurts a little bit still. So like, yes, like we are so glad. And Lindsay actually was talking about that. She was like, how terrible would it have been if we're like, dude, come on, you have to go there. You have to spread your wings. And then they're pushing back against that. Then that would be super sad, where they just don't feel confident and secure enough in themselves to like have left the nest. So we actually, on a non-emotional level, just looking at it a little more pragmatically or whatever, it's like, okay, we did the right thing. He's a confident dude. He's very confident. Like he's very sure of himself.
Yeah, he's funny too, man. You guys are funny together.
Is the school far away?
Yes, it is. We haven't said where it is just because it's small.
Yeah. Sure.
We get some just in case. Just I do worry about some of the things I say. Sometimes they're a little more inflammatory. I don't want him to get like blowback. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he went clear across the country. So he's East Coast.
Well, I mean, I guess with your touring schedule and stuff, like, do you like factor that in? Where like, all right, next year I'm gonna,
you're gonna pop in and surprise him, right? Because that's what you do. You pop in and surprise them because they love that when you pop in and surprise them.
Yep. No, we actually totally planned out a bunch of East Coast shows just so we could be like, hey, bring your friends over here.
So there you go, Tom. You narrowed it down enough so where if somebody is stalking his kid, they can just look at his tour dates next year. There you go. Congratulations.
Northeast or south? So
first letter of the
warmer.
Let me sneak one in here, Tom, because while we're talking about your wife and kid, Dan, I know, like, as a comic and as a family man, I'd pay close attention to the fact that, like, other than you and I'm going to say Jim Gaffigan, every other male comic, at least in the world, gets divorced and fucking leaves his fucking family behind. Like, how did you avoid? I'm serious.
You're not wrong.
Name a fucking comic, and they've been divorced, and they were a guy who loved their wife previous to that.
So many, man.
Did you what specific steps did you have to take to like have a career and keep your family together?
Well, I did get divorced, so I am part of like my kids are with
Thank you. I am right. Thank
you. Fair.
No, but even then, it wasn't the typical thing where it's like like certain. I would say since the divorce, but even like before, one thing certain people online or fans will say, they're like, hey, how come we don't see you on a lot of these like podcasts, or how come we don't see you as part of like on Theo Vaughn or on Tom Segura? And like a lot of it is, I did make a conscious choice to be more present for the kids. I didn't feel like if I'm already touring, when I'm home, even when I was in LA, instead of going out and networking like a lot of comics will do just constantly, I knew it would hurt me somewhat. But also it's like, at the end of the day, 20 years down the road, I didn't want to be like, you know what, you're doing this theater tour and you're doing all the things you want, but like you never saw your kids. I rather would have like worked myself out of the business, but been more present for the kids. So I think like
it's like that old saying: nobody on their deathbed says, "I wish I would have done more podcasts."
Also, I kind of feel bad now that you're doing our podcast when you pass on other people that are much better and talented than us.
My God, Theo Vaughn!
No, fuck Segura. This is better.
Like with you guys, it's like I was able to come to meet you guys, touring, coming through the Orlando Improv. But what I, because of trying to be more focused on family, one thing I never did was just like be like a scenester. Like I was just not on off nights hanging out at the Comedy Store, hanging out at the Laugh Factory, hanging out at, the Melrose Improv or in New York, the Cellar, and those places. And it does hurt you, is like, you don't meet as many people, like you don't meet and you don't become part of like a class of comics almost.
Right. Like a crew or something.
Yeah. Like I relate a lot to Chad Daniels, where it's like him and I came up in these little comedy islands where it's like he's in Fergus Falls, Minnesota. I was in Spokane, Washington, LA for a little bit, but then like Coeur d'Alene for quite a while now too. And you just kind of learn how to do stand up in a different way. Like, you don't work out on sets as much at random rooms. Your writing style, you have to kind of adapt to just a different style if you want to focus more on family.
But you have like a really, but like both of you guys and Chad Daniels, you both have, I would say it shaped your styles because they're super unique. Yeah. Like I was actually looking at some comments of your special when I was watching it, and most of the people that were in there that didn't seem to be like people that were podcast listeners of yours said that compliment to you, because I was going to ask you about that, but Tom got there. But about most people say like, man, this is a very unique style of comedy. And I wonder if you'd been part of a crew, if maybe you'd lost a little bit of that individuality that you now have.
I think so, maybe, because we're all sponges to a degree, and if you're watching comedy night after night after night after night, for years, it can't help but kind of sink into your head on some level, where it's like where I've been, I don't watch that much stand-up, especially live. And I watch a lot of dystopian and sci-fi and like weird shows. And it's like, I think that's kind of influenced my brain more than other comics maybe. And I do kind of hold on to this. I didn't even hear this firsthand, but oh my gosh, I feel terrible. I can picture his face. Rory
Scovel.
Oh my goch.
McElroy.
I'm sorry.
Rory Scovel.
Scovel. Oh my gosh. My brain totally spit out his last name.
That's all right, Mitch.
It's happening.
Got him.
He's so much younger.
No, I love Rory, and I've always thought he's really creative too. And I don't even remember how it came up, but somebody was telling me this story about there was a comic working with Rory years ago, and the comic was asking him before the show started, hey man, like, what kind of material should I do here? I've never been like in this city before. Like, I don't know, all these questions about what should I do? And the story as it was told to me was Rory just said to him, who told you there are any rules with this? And that really resonated with me, where it's like, at the end of the day, it's just about, are you entertaining an audience or not? And if you are, then you can do well and have a career. And if you're not, you're not. But it doesn't matter if you have traditional jokes or 20-minute stories or some elements of drama. Like I like what Ali Sadiq has been doing, where there's dramatic elements in a lot of like the stuff. And I think like, when I started in stand-up, a lot of people were hung up on how you're supposed to do it.
Right.
I think what's helped me is just like, no, I just want to talk about whatever I'm interested in, try to make it funny, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it definitely does.
As a guy who runs an open mic, a lot of those people don't even go to the funny part now.
Yeah.
Dan,
you want them to get there, but they don't.
How was your summer camp this year?
Good. Yeah, we'll be doing that in a few weeks here.
Couple weeks.
Yeah, man, that's coming up.
I thought it already happened.
No, it's in like
it's the end of this month, man.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
23rd through the 25th, 21st.
Yeah,
It's probably going to be when you're in Moab or whatever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And
It looks amazing, and this time you're in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah, this time we went with last year was a crazy amount of work behind the scenes. Last year was like picking a place that was the Boy Scouts actually owned the camp and trying to modify it into something that worked for us. And you had to get all these third-party vendors for food. Everything had to be outsourced.
Yeah,
and you had to, all this stuff. Where this year we're doing it at this place that specializes in custom camps. It's this place called Camp No Counselors. They're incredible. Like we went for a little test run. I never went to summer camp or anything as a kid.
Oh, really?
But it looks like the coolest camp. They own this huge property with with a lake and all these big buildings and housing for everybody. And all they do all summer long is run like people's camps.
That's where
awesome.
Macaulay Culkin and Seth Green always go, like every summer.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's like a bunch of like their little friend group used to go there all the time.
Yeah, watch out for the wet bandits.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, going to some place that's already set up for this, because I remember you telling me, Dan, the last time.
It looked like a ton of work.
Yeah.
My God.
It's like, this is why we do cruises, It's like it's set up
It's
for
built
this.
in,
It's all built in.
And our
It's easier.
listeners are obese, so it's like, it works out. Because, they're already on the cruise anyway. We just have to go.
Yeah.
When is your guys' next cruise?
Well,
Why do you say that, Dan?
We haven't announced it yet.
You were on the
officially,
last one we did, I think.
Yeah.
but we are going to do one next year, and then so we're about to announce it coming up here in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, they just need to know what city your son's in. They don't know where to set off from.
Yeah. We'll just swing by and pick him up.
All right, I got one last question for you, Dan, and this is a weird one.
Have you ever bought an FOP sticker?
Oh man, have you seen that, Dan?
Have you seen the documentary?
Telemarketers. It's on Max.
What's a FOP sticker?
Fraternal Order of Police.
Jinx.
Gotta get you a code.
There's a new documentary on HBO. We talked about it on our BDM show, but it's a new documentary called Telemarketers, and it goes into this.
I heard about it.
This whole
It's
call
good.
center scam, and like basically these call centers are using the police's name and like the Firefighter Fund of America and the Veterans Fund, and they literally just.
All organizations who specifically do not solicit.
Right.
And they just collect money from people, and
the scam. Yeah, big scam, huh?
Yeah, they send you a sticker that they act like will protect you from the police, but it's just a sticker.
Well, it
sound familiar, Tom?
But we talked about how I fell for this anyway.
Twice. He fell for it twice.
Anyway,
That is so crazy. Where this week's episode, the episode of Time Suck out this week is about an organization built in like volunteer organizations. It's like this huge pyramid scheme of all these volunteer organizations, and at the top of it was actually a cult, like a weird communist cult, where the dude was doing the same thing that religious cults do and sleeping with the young female staff members and making everybody work crazy hours and keeping them tired and berating people. But like beneath that, funding that was actually like all these random organizations that would solicit money from people, like people on a street corner being like, "Hey, would you help the AARS or whatever? We're trying to raise money for migrant workers." And it was all bullshit. It was all just funneling from across the country into this compound in Brooklyn. It's insane.
Sounds very similar.
It's kind of similar. And then what's interesting is they noted that like there's no better person that's better equipped to get money out of someone than an addict. So you hire a bunch of addicts and people like con men or like even criminals or whatever that have, and it's like those people can scam people out of money, even small amounts, because they've been doing it their whole lives.
And they've done it multiple times with family members. They've done it to people they've done it before.
And it was interesting that there's no better.
Lying gets easy the more you do it.
Yeah. Totally. So this is the weird question, Dan, because I have never experienced this. And
what is sex like?
Anal.
No. And
I've never experienced anal.
I'm just doing the math about like Dan's got a huge audience, and the way Dan looks and presents himself. I imagine that after shows, before shows, anytime he does meet and greets, usually he's like I'm thinking
knew you were horny today.
An after the show thing where I'm like, I bet Dan has to deal with a lot of drunk women throwing themselves in.
Hell is the feeder.
And then it's like you want to be nice to them, and then how do you deflect that? I imagine it's hordes of drunk, horny women.
Do you want him to tell you?
What kind of weird fantasies do you have?
No, it's not a fantasy. It's a
fantasy for you, obviously.
Dan's beefy guy. He's got a beard, tattoos. Like I imagine a lot of women. He's a comedian. Women like that. And so after the show, they get sauced up, and they're
when
like,
you say I imagine, that's a fantasy.
Right. He doesn't get that part.
So according to Tom, he says Dan's a beefy guy. How do you handle it?
Come on,
beefy Dan.
He's hilarious and beefy.
No, it would be the same.
I get sauced up.
No, it would be like asking Nikki Glazer how she deals with sexual harassment.
God, remember when she came in here and talked about fingering herself for like 20 fucking minutes? I could not stop thinking about that for a week and a fucking half.
It's logically in my mind going to happen all the time to this person.
Now it's logically in his mind, not a fantasy.
When the ladies are sauced up, is it hard to be beefy?
Yeah. Is it hard to get all the women that are throwing themselves at you off of you?
I mean, before Lindsay, it's like, when I was like single for a couple years before, it's like, yeah, when you're single, I mean, I don't know what everybody thinks, but for me, I was like, yeah, this is great. Some like attention or whatever. With Lindsay, when we do the meet and greets this last couple of years, it's like, well, one, I do a podcast with her. So a lot of our fans, she's very present in their ears.
They're fans and they respect her too.
Yeah. And then for we did like a bunch of VIP meet and greets for this like theater tour we did in the spring, but she was at every meet and greet. So it would be pretty ballsy, in front of her. I mean, you'd pick up on a flirty vibe here and there, but people do get weird other than that. Like I remember and this one was with Lindsay there, but it was in a club in Alabama, cool club actually, Huntsville, Alabama. And this lady just came up. I don't know if her and her husband were swingers or what. I got a different vibe from both of them, but she just straight up grabbed my junk like that was an okay thing to do in a merch line.
I'll take one of these.
That is the thing for me where it's like, imagine
it's a pop socket
for a woman where you might be afraid of you're being assaulted, but also there's I don't know, they're bigger or whatever, like a different kind of fear. For me, I didn't feel like violated. Maybe I don't have the right boundaries, but I was just like, what goes in your head to make you think in public that's an acceptable way to interact with someone?
I'm with you. Andrea will let slam hogs grab my dick all the time, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it because it's all I got left. I'm dying, so I'm like...
She wants it.
Yeah, she wanted it, and then Andrea's just like, that slam hog doing it again.
Now, was she a celebrity? Because I've heard if you're a celebrity, you can just come up and grab them right by the nuts.
I don't know who this lady was. This lady was just
out of line then.
How was the grip? Did she really get it? Did she really get a hold?
Oh yeah.
Or was it like a frat boy tap?
No, it was a full grab. I want to I want to see what you're working with. Grab.
I like that, but I have prostatitis too, so it can hurt a little bit. I'm like, ow! I'm like, wowie, it's tender down there.
Again, I want to remind everybody to watch Dan Cummins special on YouTube. Trying to get better.
Yeah.
It just came
hunting
out.
story. #hunting story.
It's an awesome special. Dan, thanks so much for taking the time to come on the show and talk to us.
Oh yeah, thanks for having me. And it was good to see you, Ross. Man,
it's camera's
good
just
to
been
see
on Ross.
you too, Dan.
I meant last time he wasn't there. So yeah, it was cool.
It was very good to see you, man. Hey, thanks for everything. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
right, talk to you guys soon. Thank you.
Later, man. Dan. Be good.
You took him away from his family.
I know, we did. We did take him away from his family.
If I'm not mistaken, that's what Terry Crews said that, what's his name, from...
Oh, yes.
You know who I'm talking about.
Terry Crews says that he was grabbed by...
The guy that kicked off that show about being president. I can't think of his name right now.
Oh, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, he said Kevin Spacey grabbed him by the dick and balls.
Yeah.
I think he said multiple people.
Yeah,
right? There was like a producer that did.
Yeah, he's had a bunch of like problems. I feel like, and Terry Crews is a big motherfucker.
Giant.
Yeah, there's, and he like got all mad at people that were
Just because you're big doesn't mean you're violent. You're going.
That was his thing.
But it's an odd.
He'd be the last person I grab because it's fucking Terry Crews.
Well, that just tells you the balls on the people that are no pun intended there, but that are grabbing him, right?
Too many balls.
It's an odd instinct, though, when someone like Terry Crews walks in the room and be like, I'm going to grab this guy's dick and just see what happens.
That's a narcissist for you, man. They're like, they'll like this. I'll grab their balls.
I'll just gamble on the fact that this guy is not going to one-punch kill me because he can for sure one-punch kill.
Gotta take some risks in life.
Kevin Spacey.
Have you ever had your junk grabbed?
Yeah.
I have too. Have you?
Yeah.
I can't think offhand.
I have.
Yeah. In like radio days.
Yeah, in radio days.
Yeah, like, with like, at Latitudes or whatever, like, some drunk chick or whatever.
Yep.
And then I'm just always like, I'm like,
You're like, what?
I swatted away like a cat.
You did the noise that Bobby Lee does when he's doing an Asian guy.
No, I'm just like, but I don't want to make it awkward.
So you're doing Mickey Rooney from Breakfast at Tiffany's when he's
Dude, I had a guy come up behind me and get me in a chokehold, but a violent chokehold.
Oh yeah, I've had people do that to
where
me.
I was like, I'm like trying to pry my fingers, and then it was at the Amway arena, and then I actually got a little pissed about it. I was like, hey.
Oh, you gave him a hey?
But then a little.
I like the da-da-da-da at the end.
I have been, because I'm little, I have been put in a chokehold at almost every monster truck event I ever did. If it was a monster truck event and I was there, some bigger guy would put me in a headlock.
Well, it was a headlock, though. That's what you do.
And they're like, and I'm like, get off of here. Like, I got you. You're standing in a hole.
First time I met Carl Tully, he did that to me, and I told him never to do that shit again. And
I'm
guess what? He's very scared of me now.
And then I'm like, I'm a grown-ass man.
He did.
They're like, no, you're not.
He did what Mike Tyson did to that guy.
Hezbollah? The little guy Hezbollah? Like, Mike Tyson's holding him and rocking him like a baby. Am I Orlando's Hezbollah? If I dress like that, I'm not going to do the brown. I'm just going to dress. I'm just
do the
dress.
brown.
Yeah, do the brown. It's a dance. It's a new dance.
Okay, let's take a break.
Okay, let me ask you something.
What?
Should we reset our internet? Because something's happening around here. We're getting slammed.
I don't know.
That whole video of Dan is garbage. It's the Cummins Curse.
It's all Glitch McConnell.
It is? It's all trash.
Everybody in the chat was making fun of it. It's OLE Part 2.
Yeah.
What is happening?
It's the Cummins Curse.
Hold on.
I'll tell the chat room is so helpful. They know I'm been out of shape about this, and I'm trying to get back on. But they're like, you know what?
Serious?
Fuck him. Let's just go.
The whole thing was
let's
choppy.
Just be nasty.
The Cummins Curse, guys.
It's the Cummins Curse. And I was trying everything. I'm dropping the KBPS. I'm over here changing. I did everything but drop the call.
I wish he would have just started playing music during his interview.
Oh, man.
That's never. I mean, I don't even remember if that's ever happened to us.
What?
Well, you don't remember most things.
No,
it's the Cummins Curse. It's the Cummins Curse. Everything was fine.
We did like 5 dozen interviews this year. That's never happened. And then we get the Cummins Curse now.
Yeah, we got it again. And nobody hates it more than me. Like, I'll tell you straight up, this has ruined my fucking weekend. It has. Like, he knows me pretty well. You know me pretty well.
Wait until we get the confrontation of the week.
It ruined my fucking weekend.
Most people listen to the audio.
No, I know.
So
I know that.
I know.
But we go to great lengths to try to provide them with great video. And Dan's setup looked fucking awesome. He looked great.
Well, it's his fault. That's the only way I can explain it. This hasn't happened. I mean, Sam, has this happened?
I am not going to victim blame Dan.
It's happened.
I did start hashtag Cummins Curse.
It's happened the last 4 times we've had him on the show.
But it's like this has never happened to any other interview. Does anybody in
We've
Twitch?
had
we've had it get a little spotty, but not like that.
Right,
that
not a full 45.
Literally, it just froze for 45.
Yeah.
And it did it like it was like, and here's Dan Cummins, and ruin it. That's how it did it. I was so fucking mad over here. And thanks again to the chat room for being so caring and nice about it. You fucking assholes. All
right. Well, let's take a break. Maybe.
Do you want me to reset it?
Yeah, you have to reset it.
That would never come back.
I mean,
do you need me to blow on anything?
Hey.
That's the only way.
Grab it.
How do you deal with these guys that want to blow you all the time, Dan?
That's the only way.
I've been trying to get you to Island Boy me all week, and he will not do it. But I said,
was that real?
No.
It's trolling.
I mean, they kiss.
Okay.
They
it's
kiss
trolling.
for real.
But did you see the video? I couldn't describe it when we were talking about it. Now I can talk about it before we get a break. There's a video of one of I was going to call them the Lonely Boys. One of the Island Boys in the kitchen, and he pulls his dick out, and I think it's like a plastic dick, and the other Island Boy starts blowing him. And I watch it uncensored, and I was like, whoa! Like, I sat on the toilet, taking a shit, staring at my scene. I was like, wow! I was like, wowie!
Now that you said that, Dan, we do have to do a parody video of the Lonely Island Boys, where you come out with a dick in a box, and I just start sucking your dick through the box.
Yes.
You're in the box. You're already in there.
I'm in the box.
You're in the box.
Oh, shit. Look how different our lives are compared to, like, your father. Your father, at the same time, when you were Maisie's age, he was shitting or tied, but he was reading
had nothing to look at.
A Guns and Ammo magazine.
No, my dad would read the news.
But you read a magazine, you're watching two brothers
blow each other.
And then,
But you would have loved it if it was the Barbie
You want to hear
twins.
something funny?
Your dad would have watched that.
Oh, my dad would have watched it. What? God damn it, oh my God. The goddamn Island Boys, you know.
But if you showed
I'm looking like an Island boy, Dan Lee, like an Island boy, Dan Lee.
If you showed that to Pop-Up, it would just be, he wouldn't even have context
Well,
for it.
not down for comedy like my dad. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in the same.
Yeah.
I know you love Venn diagram, but my dad had a stripper fat suit that he would come out wearing. He put his jockey shorts on, put the stripper fat suit on, tuck his jockey shorts up, and then just leave his lily white legs down. He'd put on a blonde wig, and he would run through the house when my mom had parties.
Yeah, the most fun
nuts.
My pop-up had was that Hooters hat I gave him. That was his most elaborate joke.
I found my Hooters hat.
Costume.
Did your Pop-Up have a hat collection?
He had a hat rack.
Yeah. My grandpa did too. I remember he had Intercourse PA. That was a good one.
Wow.
Yeah, whatever happened to the joke hats?
They're still around. You got to go to Spencer's, man.
Or you have to go to an independent gas station somewhere in the Florida suburbs.
I mean, you could buy them online.
Yeah, but they're not real. I think you got to find them.
The crown jewel was one that said shithead, and then it had like a fake pile of shit on the brim. Amazing.
My
Amazing
favorite,
hat.
my mom wouldn't let me get it because she explained it to me because she was an educator trying to do that thing, was two pigs, and it was a guy pig behind the pig, and it's like pumping hard, and it says making bacon.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorites.
We don't do enough novelty. Like it starts off with the bikini top, and then it pulls it. The
titties, and then you pull the bikini down, and there were nipples.
Remember the pin? You turn the pin upside down, and it would dissolve.
Let the record reflect that I asked to do that as a Tom and Dan item about 6 years ago. Got outvoted because they're very expensive. They're handmade in Italy.
Yeah, but how many could we sell? Like
all of them.
How many did you order?
All of them. They are made in Italy. I found a company that would do it.
This is the only way I could ask this on the air. But Sam, if we ever came out with a pin,
here we go,
that you turned around,
after we just talked about sexual assaulting people.
Well, that's I'm doing it on the show.
This is an audio grab,
and then now it's not your real body. It's just like it's photoshopped
or cartoon. You just put your face though. It's going to be your face,
but it dissolves. Yeah. Without your face,
and then
this whole thing is nothing.
And as the black thing goes all the way down, and then when it gets to your feet, me and Tom will be in the bushes. We'll be popping out of the bushes.
I would have. would you be okay with that or not okay?
Am I getting any profit on
Yeah, we'll split the revenue. Actually, we'll give you 60-40.
We'll give you a box of pens.
You get 60.
You can hand out to your friends and family.
Okay, you get 40% of the box of pens.
Maybe you do
I'll have to talk to Mo to negotiate.
60-40
would make sense.
And then me and Dan will split the other 20.
We'll split 20-20.
I mean, how many pins do you think we could sell? A lot.
I think we could sell 1,000 pens.
I mean, at $5 a piece?
No, $5 a piece. They're like $12. They're handmade.
Oh, no,
yeah, you got to charge.
They're only made in Italy.
Well, how much is someone going to spend for a pen?
Well, they're
$28?
No, they're going to be about. I think we can get them down to $17.99.
My pen tits are worth $20.
They're not buying it for the fucking ink, Tom.
Did you just say my big tits are worth $20? Oh,
Pens.
you said my big tits are worth $20. I thought you were declaring that. I was like, they are.
All right.
Okay, what is happening?
I'm looking at novelty hats.
Okay, do you want me to restart the internet? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know.
What
do I do?
Yo.
You didn't even know anything was wrong.
Yeah, was that going to fix it?
Then I must have been selling it okay.
No,
was I selling it okay? I didn't look stressed out?
I don't know what's happening during the show. I don't even know if anybody's listening to this.
You could have stopped it happening.
Yeah.
Or if this is being actually recorded. Or anything.
Thank God it's being recorded.
What if we did the Truman Show to Tom this whole time?
Sometimes
it would work.
I think about that.
Easiest guy to do it.
What's the chances all the stuff was
Sometimes I sit in here and I'll eavesdrop on phone conversations that he's having with like his doctor or another business person, and I think of how easy it would be for me to do a voice and destroy our company. Do
it. Do the Oldsmar air conditioning.
Yeah, or no, just like I had sat over here one day and thought about actually calling you and trying to convince you that I'm a new client.
Just pretend you're the bank.
No, and then paying money for commercials through our bank account so we would have a 360 loop of money. They would just come out and then we'd go back in.
Yeah, you could trick me pretty easily. I think, and once I'm in, once I believe you right off in the first 5 seconds, then you got once I think you're the cop, you're for the rest of your life, you're the cop.
He'll put you in his phone list, Cop Mikey.
All right.
And then,
the name of the band is Cayucas, I think. I think I'm saying that right. The name of the song is Varsity Jacket. Hopefully this will work, and we'll be back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan momentarily. If you'd like to call, 1-844-TOMNDAN.
I've got a seafoam green electro buzzing, duct tape stuck to my pedal fuzzing.
Hollabox Willow Tree Cafe in Sanford, right there in downtown Sanford. If you're looking for an experience and a delicious dinner, Hollabox is the place to go.
I think I just had a stroke of genius.
Yep.
I know a lot of you right now, it's not too early to start planning a nice place to take your staff, a nice place to take your company, your guys that are on the truck with you. If you need to take them to Hollabox for your holiday dinner or for your holiday party. Just say, God, you can just make it very informal. Just bring your families and come on down, and I guarantee you that you and your company will have the best time ever. They have so much good food there, the live entertainment, the music. They've got their new tapas-style deal that they're doing called Uba-Keller, where you can get tiny German treats, and that way you're able to share and mix and match and try everything at the table. Chef Pat's there. You can ask for him. He'll bring you a Tom and Dan pen. He loves to be bothered.
Yep, their beer garden above Hollabox is beautiful. Go try some traditional German desserts. They've got also their outfitters. If you want any lederhosen, or anything, any traditional German costume,
little treats,
clothes,
or maybe you want Haribo gummy bears, or maybe you want spaghetti ice, or maybe you want to-go meals. Maybe you just want like a good old cabbage roll or something. Yeah, they got stuff there for you.
Their market, they got their deli in there, the spaghetti ice cream. Bring your kids. It's like with all of Hollabox and all that they have to offer, they provide a great experience.
You can't do all of it in one day. It's absolutely impossible. It's right there on 1st Street in Sanford. Our very good friends at Hollabox Willow Tree Cafe. Go to hollabox.com.
They say hope is a dangerous, dangerous little thing. to keep finding out the hard way what tomorrow never brings.
Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Yeah, I told you
like
this.
that.
I told you this computer's just going apeshit bananas
God
today.
damn it, Dan Cummins.
If you're looking for a great gift, this little electric shaver from Manscaped.
Yeah, look at this little guy.
It's perfect to throw in your car and have an electric shaver. You know, you can plug it right into any USB port. And
I'm a fan. I like that thing, but if you give it to me as a gift, you can fuck off.
So what are you talking about?
It's the best gift in the world, Ross.
What
if I paired it with one of these weed whacker nose hair
Shit.
trimmers?
I actually really like that thing. Use that.
I
every
also
week.
tested this on my beehole, and it does an excellent job. Not so much for getting rid of the hairs, but it's vibrate crazy.
Any of the shavers or lotions or shaving products that Manscaped has to offer,
Ball
the super
toner.
high quality.
It comes with a pair of free underwear, or as my dad called them, Grundies.
If you use promo code TOMANDDAN20, you can get 20% off your purchase, off of your whole order, and free shipping worldwide. That's manscaped.com, and that helps a relationship.
Yeah,
if you use the promo code. That helps you, 20% off. Tell your friends. If they're
help us, help you, help us.
Tell your mom.
Because it literally is, the more people that use the promo code, the longer they advertise. I didn't think it would even get this long.
And we
I
don't
thought
even
this
know.
was going to be done months ago.
Yeah, but it just keeps going.
So you guys are using the promo code.
So buy this for your mom, and it helps us out.
If you got yours, give one as a gift.
Yeah. As long as you use the promo code.
If somebody gives it to you as a gift and you don't like it, give it to somebody else as a gift.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right,
Find
Ross.
the hairiest motherfucker in your life.
I got to find Ross a song, but if something tells me this just isn't going to go well today because of the way the computer is going, I'm going to give it a shot to find it. But plug something quickly while I dig this up, if you don't mind.
All right. Our Watering Holes program is all our bar and brewery partners. So if you go to TomAndDanWateringHoles.com or just go to our website and click on the Watering Holes link, it just lists all of those breweries, and you can get something Tom and Dan at each one, and a lot of them have our pint glasses, and that's free.
I don't even have one of those.
And the new one is Dirty Laundry, right between Little Indies and Will's Pub.
Yeah, it's like the spillover area. In fact, I am going to, hopefully it'll be open. I think it'll be open. I'm going to see Ross and Larry Fulford's show, What Do You Want From Us, at Will's Pub on Monday.
Monday, the 4th of September.
Yeah, I'm going to be at that. I already got my there's my tickets, because I'm trying to make a concerted effort to not be so lame and go out and do fun stuff.
Where do you get the tickets?
I got them online. You can get them I got them on TicketWeb. If you
imagine Will's, whatever you get tickets for Will's Pub, you go to willspub.org.
It's really easy. Like I did it in bed from my phone, super duper easy. I'm going out there with Tony Rage. Mr. Monjet and I are going to do that, and hopefully you can meet us at the Watering Hole a little before showtime if you want to, and come have a drink with us.
Just to clarify, society knows where to go. We don't have to give website addresses anymore, right? Because if I'm telling you about something,
pretty findable.
They just you're like, okay, you're like a Ross's show at Will's Pub. Where'd I get there? You just type in Will's Pub tickets.
Yeah, or
Ross
the
McCoy, you'll find
the
it.
only addendum I would give to that is like sometimes we have partners where it's easier just to say there's a link at TomAndDan.com.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Now there isn't for this particular show, but there is on Larry Fulford's Instagram page. There's one on
willspub.org.
Yeah, willspub.org.
Scroll down, you'll see it.
Yeah.
But everybody just knows where
For the
to
most
find
part.
stuff.
I think you're absolutely correct. There was a time when you would have to say like TomAndDan.com. But I think most people now are so used to using it, and we've integrated the web into what we do so much that, I think,
Tom, what you're asking is, do people know that Google is a thing? And yes, they do.
Okay. All right. So I'm done with the websites. I'm just going to tell you, and then if you want to find it, it's easy.
Wow.
Sometimes it's better to give them a little homework. Let them find stuff on their own. They're more involved that way.
Yeah, do critical thinking.
Yeah.
All right, I found the song.
Google a synonym for...
Yeah. I think this is my favorite song that Jackal's done. It's my favorite. I kind of want to rock this one in my car, like for about 3 minutes.
This could go on my run playlist for sure. Yeah, this would get me going.
Ross's Confrontation of the Week, brought to you by Ross's show on Monday at Will's Pub.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Scoop up some of that Will's Pub signature merch, too, while you're there. He's got some stuff he just released. Yeah. I'm going to grab the Screw Downtown shirt. Back in the day, like there was a Screw Downtown Will's Pub shirt.
The old Will's Pub.
So throwback.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab one of those.
And they got a $5 rack by the bar. They got a $5 T-shirt rack.
Yeah.
They did $5 shirts during COVID, and I got a sweet little indie shirt.
We are fans of the $5 T-shirt.
Yeah.
Some would say that Tom is the godfather of the $5 T-shirt.
I heard you go to your website and everything's 50% off. You can see that cover.
So you told me a minor confrontation, but then when I asked you, you said it was bad.
Here's the problem with this one. This is not like really. This was quiet. Nobody was. But this one is the kind of thing that bothers me. Like, you know, the guy at the fucking Walgreens or whatever. Like, I was over it a second later, but this one like bothered me. I've been thinking about it all fucking week. This is the kind of stuff that actually gets to me. So I was out last week at a certain point with some friends. We're at a bar. I go up to the bar to get a drink. And, I slide into the bar, an empty seat, and there's somebody next to me. I didn't really look. And at a certain point, this person next to me turns and goes, "Hey, you probably don't remember who I am, do you?" And
I love those.
Right?
There's nothing.
Why do people do that?
Now, did you know in saying this, and I think you've known him long enough, but this is his worst nightmare.
Me too.
Like, you hate that.
Oh, yeah. That's
You absolutely hate it. And you know what? And it'll make him uncomfortable. We've had them together before, and people will be like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And I'll go, "No." And Tom like he starts freaking out.
Because
I'll go, "No, I do not."
And then I try to cover for you. I'm like, he's just joking. He's
special. He's crazy. He's a little person. He's only 4 inches off of a little person. I learned that this morning. I'm only 4 inches off.
Wait, you are 4 inches above.
That's a great way of
right?
thinking about
it. Be positive.
Yeah.
So the weird part about that statement is that the person usually knows the answer to the question. So why are they saying
usually, isn't it 100%?
Like they know the answer and they're saying it to be a dick? Or to make you uncomfortable?
It is I would say in business, it is a power play. Like
you definitely can be.
Yeah, because I'm saying, like, I'm going.
Is it like a neg?
It's a neg.
It puts you on the defense?
Puts the onus on you, yeah.
That's what I think. Yeah,
okay. But they're not doing it for that.
It's almost like you're saying, you're not all that because I know you don't remember who I am. Right? Isn't it like a sort of a variation?
It kind of is an insult to themselves. Like I'm
not memorable.
So it's kind of like you are negging yourself.
I think it also depends on how they phrase it. Because if they phrase it like you probably don't remember you, that's kind of being a dick. But if they're like, "Do you remember me?" Or like, you know what I mean? I think that is more they want you to.
I hate both of them,
so they feel important.
I hate them both though.
No, they're both bad because it makes that person.
"Do you remember me?" And then I'll be with Tom. I'll go, "No."
It should be, if they are famous in any way, just assume they don't remember you. Like, society should adopt that. Like,
I wouldn't even put fame on it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't expect people to remember every single person they've ever met.
True.
Yeah, but the fame part of it, just that at least there's a hard, like,
you're addicted to the fame. Yeah, you love the fame.
No, but at least that is a.
You would have lived forever, I bet.
It's
well, it's like what's his name that came in here that worked with you at the damn shoe castle?
Rory Scovel.
Oh, you can't even remember his name? It's Vince Taylor. Oh yeah, nobody can remember him.
I can't remember anything right now, but. So he was like, "You probably don't remember working with me," and then you're like, "Oh yeah, I do."
Yeah,
do you put that on your fame?
No,
you worked with him every day for who knows how long, at least
put
a
it
year.
On your fame. Put it on your fame.
You know?
Do it.
Well, my fame does matter, and I'll explain because
it's so Tom to put it on fame.
I'm
with him.
If you meet more people,
right,
the people are less memorable because it's just the quantity of them.
Also, I'll put it directly on myself. Like, I know to you in your head, you're super important. You're the star of your own film or whatever. But in my head, there's room for like 10 people, and I live with half of them.
Yeah,
you know, like there's just so many people, famous or not famous or whatever. There's so many people that bump in and out of there. Can't keep track of everybody. There's no fucking way.
Agreed.
And I don't expect anybody to remember who I am. Nobody. And then especially if they are famous or even, like any sort of, even if we interviewed them 5 times, if I went up to Bill Bellamy, I wouldn't expect
there are
him.
people that have been in this studio multiple times, and Tom will not remember their name.
But I don't expect them. Like if I saw,
you're talking about the kratom guy with the rings, aren't you?
Like,
I'm talking about almost every person that comes in here.
I'm just saying, if I saw Lunel out somewhere, I wouldn't expect her to remember who I am.
Sure.
You know,
Same.
But she does. That's a specialty of Lunel.
But I'll leave it up to that person.
She is a queen.
But
that day I walked in and Monique was like, "Ross, you're late." I was like, "Holy shit, Monique remembered me."
But there are reasons why they're top tier comedians.
Dirty Jim. I remember the first time I met Dirty Jim. I met him at I went to fucking Thurston's for a promo. Primetime Jimmy from Dirty Kitchen.
Primetime.
I went to Thurston's for a promo, and then like a year later, I saw him at a different thing I'd won tickets to, and he was like, "Ross, I remember we took a ride together at Thurston's." Cool. I was like, "Holy shit, Jimmy is sharp."
Jimmy always remembers the people he smokes weed with. Smokes weed.
Yeah, but that was back in the day. Now he's a little midget. He'll freeze a little bit. I was saying it happens. As you get older, it happens. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead, Russ.
So, okay, this person looked at me and said, "You probably don't remember who I am, right?" And I turned, and in my head, I'm already panicking. Like, I'm already drowning in the middle of the fucking ocean, because, like
it's the worst.
It's one of my worst fucking fears in public, is, like, somebody confront me like that, in that way, because it makes me feel bad not to be able. They obviously want you to recall them,
right.
And when I can't, I feel terrible about it.
It's also the way that most women reveal like some sort of love child to you. You know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's never a good thing. Like, people don't say it and then they go, "You don't remember me, do you? Well, here's the money I owe you." You know, they don't do that. They usually go, "You treated me like shit," or "You're a piece of shit," or something bad.
And Tom, I know you feel like we're in quicksand right now. We're going to go fully under the surface. So just don't even.
You're taking him down?
Are you holding the vine?
Brace yourself.
No vine.
Tarzan is not around. Sorry.
Oh my God, this is like a tandem jump.
So I look at her and I do recognize her, and I'm like desperately trying to pull some kind of context or like the name or whatever. And I remember, oh yeah, you used to work at this place where I did comedy. And I pulled a name, and I'm going to change the name. I said, "Oh yeah, Susie. No, I remember you, of course." And now here's the problem. I got the context right. This person did work at the bar I thought of, and we did work together for a number of years. But Susie was the lady who took over for her.
Okay.
This is Sally.
All right.
Oh,
and
damn.
Susie.
S and E's, yeah.
Susie turned out to be a little bit of a nut job at this place. So I call her Susie. I'm like, "Oh yeah, Susie, how have you been?" And she goes, "Susie? You think I'm Susie?"
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, and immediately I realized what I did. And I'm like, "Oh shit, you're not Susie, you're Sally." And I go, no, Sally, I'm so sorry. I just pulled the wrong name.
I'm so sorry, Sally Susie.
Oh, that still counts, though.
I agree.
Yeah,
I think
that
you got
still
this
counts
right.
as a remember.
I'm very impressed that you even got close.
Close, but no cigar. Because again, this person, like, she's Sally, and this Susie person ended up being like a little bit of a nut job.
Psychopath.
So she now thinks I think she's a nut job or something, right? And so I'm like, no. I'm sorry, Sally. I just pulled Susie. It's on me. That's my brain, you know. And she's not happy about it, but we're kind of moving past it. And the last time I remember seeing this lady, and again, most of our interactions were in a situation where I was blackout drunk. Like 90% of the time I saw this person, I was probably blackout drunk hosting a comedy show.
Gotcha.
The last time I remember seeing her, we were talking about how she was going to get married. So she's sitting there with a dude, and
you're just loading your bullets.
And so, like, well, again, I'm drowning. I'm looking for.
I know. This is what I do. This is what Tom does.
I think I see a scrap of wood to grab onto, but it's a fucking shark. So I kind of like lean a little bit. I go, I'm trying to smooth out the Susie Sally thing, and it's not working. And so I kind of like look past her and I go, "Well, is this your husband now?" And I don't know why she chose to react like this, but she goes, "He's always been my husband. I've never had another husband. What are you talking about?"
Oh, my God.
The fact that I said, "This is your husband now?" For some reason, it made her think.
What do you mean I had another husband with another family and they killed him? What do you mean?
Right, exactly. And suddenly, like, I've accused her of, like,
Baskin.
bigamy or something all of a sudden. Man. And so I'm like, no. I don't mean, I just meant, like, the last time I saw you, you hadn't been married, but now you are. So I'm like, I'm fucking full on Tom Vanning. Like, I am just
oh
like,
my God, this is absurd. I've never heard of a Ross freaking out about it.
I'm just puking
I
words.
wanted to see this in real life.
And everything I say, like,
But
no,
it was fast too.
She comes back with, "But no, this is my only husband. This is the only man I've ever been married to. I don't know what you're accusing me of." Like,
yeah, this guy's got issues.
We get real deep into this part of it, which is like, to me, like, at this point, I'm like, I got the "you probably know me" thing that I've encountered before. This I've never even fucking seen before. Like, I'm like, suddenly
this is new territory.
I'm like like, I just got my nose above water at this point. And so, like, we go through a couple runs of that, and I go, sorry about that one. And I look at him, and I go, anyway, nice to meet you. And he looks me right in the eyes, and he goes, we've met several times, Ross.
The trifecta.
What is happening?
The trifecta.
Oh my God!
Why are you saying nice to meet you?
You're in great shape.
Yeah,
you run.
never
You should have
say
just
nice
run
to
right the fuck out.
Good to see you. It's always good to see you.
Yes.
I know, and I fucked up so bad. I thought I was grabbing onto the fucking plank, and it was a shark. And he goes,
You panicked.
He goes, not even like, yeah, we've met before. He goes, we've met several times, Ross. Look at me right in the eye, and at that point I put my hands up. I said sorry, and I just
Have you ever?
You should have just said, sorry, I'm really high.
That would have worked. Have you ever done the full pivot where the person will be like, I've met you several times, and you go, and we're doing it again right now, and I'm so glad. Like, or something.
I did a little bit of, well, I'm sorry. I don't know what else I could do to fuck this up. I guess I
That's
could probably
good.
say
Yeah,
some more
yeah.
shit that's totally stupid. I started, like, really denigrating myself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop talking because if I do, I'll probably... And I honest to God... I was going to say something. I'll probably say something about, like, your kid dying or something. Didn't even know they had a kid. Turns out they had a kid. So, like,
And
good
it's
thing I
dead.
didn't even fucking say that. I
And the kid
almost...
died.
Oh, shit.
The another one that I've gotten before, which is a little bit worse, is the someone will be like, "Hey Tom, what's going on?" And then I'll just go into a normal conversation, be like, I'll do the micro calculation, like, "Oh, this person knows me, and I must have talked to this person before."
Yeah.
So then we'll
I
start
like
talking.
how not remembering a person is a micro calculation.
No, but just by him,
Positivity.
his casualness of like just saying, "Hey, what's up, Tom?" And then I'm like, "Hey, what's good?" And we'll start talking, and then like.
Would you like to buy some FOP
No,
stickers? I'm a listener. You guys are hilarious.
4 minutes into us just bullshitting, then they'll go, "You don't know who I am."
Oh, I've been with you on those. I've been with him on those.
And then it's way worse
No,
than
it is
the
way worse.
immediate.
It's like it's like you lit the fuse of a firework and it didn't go off, and then later in the night, then it went off.
It's like you're in a dunk tank and they just fucking nailed the target. The seed drops out from under
completely.
you.
Because you think you got away with it. Like,
Yeah.
you're confident. You're like your confidence is getting up. You're this guy. He's fine.
And it's worse because you've been lying to them by your being comfortable with them for 4 minutes, and now you have to admit.
Now,
that
what do you do? Do you
were
do this
lying
one
the whole time?
Do you do this one where they're like, "You don't know who I am, do you?" And I can hear you going, "I do." Like the high pitched I do. Like, I do.
Yeah, well,
You know?
because-
And then he's texting me fast. What's their name?
No, we have done that. We
I
have
know.
done that. And
I know.
and he'll do a group text now, and then I'll get it on my watch, and then I'll just do this. I'll just look at my watch, and then I'll just look at it, and then I won't do a fucking thing, and I'll know who it is.
Well, here's a piece of advice.
Not gonna do nothing.
The first time around, you're like, "Yeah, dude. Yeah, of course." You
He added
double
the
down.
dude. Did you hear how good?
You double down.
Dude. Yeah, dude.
Hopefully, like hoping that they don't go the further step of asking what my name is, then, or saying like, "What's my name?"
Well, the reverse
Well,
is
now
worse.
everyone's going to do that to you because you said this is your worst nightmare.
Well, he's just gonna have to adopt my way and just say, "I'm sorry, I do not know."
He will not do that.
No.
You got to keep practicing.
No,
Just-
no.
Come up, grab his dick, and say, "You know who I am, right?"
I'll go even further and be like, "I'm just doing what I said I'll do on the show for you."
I'm giving you what you want.
That's fucking insane.
It is, and I like
then
it.
if they double down even more, I'll be like, "Yeah, you got me."
You can get up, man.
And then I'm like, I got a brain problem.
The other one I don't like is, and the one that gives me more anxiety than the name is when they go, like, "Hey, they'll be like, hi, I'll go with Susie again. Hi, I'm Susie. And I'm like, "Oh, hi, nice to meet you." And she'll go like,
We've met.
yeah, but she'll go like, "Do you know where you've met me?"
Oh.
And then I'm like, "Oh shit," because I'm not necessarily thinking like I'm not even going there. I'm just saying like I hate it when they ask me where I met them because I don't know where I was in my life, what I was doing, who they're connected to. Like I don't know. Is it somebody that I don't like? Is it or something that did I do something? Did I say something wrong to this person?
I just realized that I may have got myself into another Paul with
Another Paul. Why don't you
with a client, but they kept calling me Dan, and I didn't.
Yes!
with a client?
With a client.
With a client.
Client
Well,
thinks
because-
that your name is
That's not good. That is
Oh, this
not
is so
good.
good.
And you waited till the middle of the show on a day when my computer's crashing to tell me that there's a client that
Well, now
calls
you have to ride with it. You're Tom now.
No, I know, but I don't want to deal with this today. I'm having a bad day, and
Wait,
I'm
which
trying.
client?
I'm
I'm not
holding
gonna
it
tell you.
together.
Tell me how fair.
I'm not gonna
At
tell
least
you,
the
but-
check will still cash.
No,
Just
no,
like-
just-
You can't get into the bank account.
Not if they write it to Dan and Tom, A Mediocre Time with Dan and Tom. It's a different LLC.
I was on a Zoom call at a meeting, and then a new marketing person came in, and they were like, I was doing the whole spiel, and then
now they think I'm an idiot.
And then in the middle, and then in the middle, I was like, did they just call me Dan? And then it didn't stop.
But you powered through, yeah.
And then I powered through, and then like,
well, of course you didn't say no, I'm Tom. That's not what you do.
And then at the end of they're like, all right, Dan, I think we got a deal. And I'm like, all right, deal.
See the alliteration there? It's a deal, Dan.
And then I was like, write down that now you have to be
You are now Dan.
Oh my God.
And then next time we both go, we have to change.
And then they come over here, you're sitting in my seat, you're walking on your knees. You're you're doing the old dwarf golf where he's walking on his knees.
He doesn't know how to turn anything on over there.
Who was that?
It was a famous comedian. I can't
Tim
pull his name.
Conway.
Yeah, it was Tim Conway.
You're doing
yeah.
Tim Conway dwarf golf, which is not allowed anymore. But my dad owned every VHS tape of dwarf. Is it ironic that my dad was 5'6" and owned every dwarf golf VHS known to man?
Yeah, I think so. That qualifies.
It's crazy, right?
Now, you guys are acting like you think this story's over.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought you backed away.
No, we just took a short intermission. We're back.
Backed away. I went to sat with my friends who were, enjoying life, and I immediately put my head in my hands and started just fucking eating my own brain with guilt and shame. And I sat there for a number of minutes, and the thought that was actually running through my head was like, I'm such a fucking asshole. I probably wouldn't even recognize that guy again. The next time I see him out somewhere, I won't even fucking recognize him. Somebody comes up to where we're sitting and says goodbye to a couple people at the table, and I'm like, so I just kind of glance up and just go right back to fucking eating my shame. And I kind of look up again, and it was him. Oh. It was that fucking dude, and I had literally just not remembered him from seconds ago. And he went back to Susie or Sally, whichever one she was. I don't remember in this story, but it was that dude, and they left, and I was like, I did just not recognize him again. Fucking minutes later.
Just forgettable.
Yeah, some people just blend into society, man.
Yeah.
And the shame, there's with that much shame, I'm not going to remember anything. I remember the shame. That's it. Even if I ever see this guy again, all I'll feel is guilt.
I know that people have tricks where tricks sales tricks.
They're for kids, I've heard.
Remember people's names and stuff.
Yeah,
and it seems like that should work, but I never implemented any of those.
I use a very terrible way of doing it. If there's a person, I take whatever their most egregiously horrible feature is, and I burn that into my brain. So if it's a guy, let's say it's Bradley Cooper, and let's just say he happens to have a gigantic nose, I'll call him Big Nose Bradley.
Well, he did that for a movie.
I know. That's why I was eking that in there. Yeah, so I would call him Big and Bradley. The alliteration, it feels good. It rolls off the tongue. Big Nose Bradley. I'll never forget him.
But it seems like then when you see a stranger, because you're seeing a stranger essentially because you don't know their name, and then you see some trait that they have, a big nose or a mole, but you're not going to remember that.
You? I'd be confident eyebrows.
But you won't even remember the thing.
If you tie it to their name, you will. Big Nose Bradley. And then you just leave off the big nose part and you say, hey, Brad, what's up?
But if you see a stranger and
No Plan Van, I'm sure people remember that because it's got such good, just sounds good. It feels good to say it.
Yeah.
So if they were trying to remember your last name, No Plan Van is going to get them there.
But
Concrete Mike.
Yeah.
You already do this in your phone.
You do this naturally. You just don't care for everybody.
No, but it's what they do, not a trait.
No, it's a variation, though.
But then
why do you have me as Big Titty Sam in your phone?
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
But if Concrete...
I changed mine to that, too, for, consistency.
But here's the thing. If Concrete Mike, had gone to he just, leaving a funeral, and then I see him, and he's dressed in a suit, I won't recognize him.
Oh, then he's pallbearer, Mike.
Because I need him to have concrete dust on him.
Oh, you need him to be like Ninja Warrior, where each person that is in Ninja Warrior wears a stereotypical outfit of whatever their job is.
Yeah. If you're outside of the norm.
You're like a kid when you see a teacher outside, at the grocery store.
Yeah.
That blew Maisie's, I just literally blew her mind. She's like, I thought they slept there. She's not very smart.
I need the person to look like what the nickname I gave them.
I like that.
Anyway,
and then you do have to be somewhat memorable to even have a nickname. If you're just some dude who's at a thing that I was at, what do I even fucking remember?
I'm so bad that I have family members that I forget their kids' names.
Oh yeah,
that I've known their whole lives, and that's what I'm so scared of. That like I'm going to be in a situation where they're going to be like, "What are my kids?" I don't know why they say this. And then they put me on the spot. And then also I have this thing where if you put me on the spot,
this is your life, Tom Van.
Why does this make me laugh so hard? Like the idea of I laugh at this like the Mitch McConnell thing. It's like it makes me laugh. Like I guess like you know when I puke in a trash can. You know when I puke in a trash can and Tom can't not laugh. Like Tom will be like if you were sitting there being told the saddest thing in the world and you saw me out of the corner of your eye, you would still laugh. That's how funny you think it is.
Like people that I've gone to their weddings and then
not mine.
They're 15 years later. Like I've seen them once a year.
I'm convinced he only knows my husband's name because of Butler.
No, I know. I put.
What's our husband's name?
Well now
Mr. Belvedere.
Butler. It's Travis.
Butler Har.
No, but I seriously would love to see this scenario of what you're talking
There's
about.
only so much room up there.
Yeah.
If you went to a wedding 15 years ago, you're not going to remember the fucking kid, even if you played pinochle with him for 6 hours. No. There's a standard part of any road trip of us going to visit people. I go, babe, run me through the kids' names.
Yep.
Yeah,
Just run me through the kids' names real quick.
And if you don't spend a ton of time with them, I mean, you're not going to remember.
Yeah. But
especially
then,
when they have multiple. Oh man.
But then
when do you give up though? Because it seems like you cling to like not wanting them to know that you don't remember. When I still contend, and this has always been my argument, that the easiest thing to do is just to say
rip the Band-Aid
you
off.
don't remember them because it literally lasts a nanosecond, man. Because
you could even like be like, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names.
Yeah, but
now if they're asking like, where do you know me from? Then I'm like,
yeah, but I just give into it, and it seems to diffuse it. Like it's almost like a Chinese finger trap, right? It's almost like if you just give in, you know, it's just they're like they don't. It doesn't continue.
Also, I feel like you get a pass, especially with listeners.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the problem is that when I should know it, and any reasonable person that has any sort of capacity whatsoever to think,
you've had a lot of McConnell concussions. So.
Yeah, but would know the name of someone. It's like I've known you for 8 years, you know, some shit like that.
But you do what I do. I saw you on the camping trip. Do what I do. We would do the thing like other people's kids come up. You're like, hey there, buddy. You just keep it general. You know, like
I know,
hey little guy. You know, like you do a lot of that.
But then what's your excuse? Like I have some sort of
I never let it get.
The excuse is there's just so much you can retain.
I don't let it get that far.
Especially in this day and age when your information is instantaneous.
I don't let it get to excuse because I just I refuse.
My excuse is I don't remember.
I don't even get there.
What the fuck?
There is no excuse. I didn't.
I feel bad though, especially as a person who I was a radio fan for a long time, so I get it. I understand it. Like people feel like they know you from hearing you, and like I thought I fucking knew Jim Phillips at a certain point. You know, like I thought we were like buddies. He don't know who the fuck I am. Right. You know, so like there's that shared experience on their end, and it also like maybe one time it was like the funnest thing they ever did to bring the fucking motorcycle for you to do the hot dog eating thing at the Predators or something. But for you, that was one of a million goddamn bits you did, and they all start to blur together at a certain point, and you can't separate out everything.
I remember Hot Dog Joe.
I was like, as you were saying that, I was like, that's a fucking bad example. He loves Hot Dog Joe.
Had a Harley.
I love that guy. And his daughter?
Yeah.
Those were his heydays.
Josephine?
The guy who helped you build that fake rocket, man. I don't know.
That was Barrel Pete. Anyway.
Actually, fun fact, I believe that one of the bikers at that time may have been Chelsea, our friend Chelsea. The daughter, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of do remember.
Oh, yeah, Tom knew that.
Hot Dog Joe.
What I do remember with the Hot Dog halftime show was that...
Are we bringing that back this year?
Was that...
Are we? Are we bringing that to the ice? Hot Dogs on Ice?
So...
Oh, shit.
I somehow... I don't even know how this happened, but...
I know how it happened.
There was a halftime show...
You live for it, dude.
Orlando Predators, which... By the way, someone should do a documentary about how stupid all this shit was. But...
I mean, it was pretty fun at the time.
I think it was covered extensively.
Have we done enough? Have we done it? Put a pen in it? Okay.
I'm pretty sure Evil Out has the tape somewhere if you want to relive it.
All, so the idea was, and they let me do whatever. Like Bushy let me do whatever. So
yeah, because they don't have any fucking ideas.
We hung hot dogs from string. This is like an old biker thing.
This was the old thing that my cousin WH used to do in his biker gang. He would ride up with his girl on the back, and then he'd
like
balance,
a Cabbage Patch,
and he's like 6'4", and he'd stand on his big Electra Glide Harley, and she'd stand on the back.
Yeah.
She'd stand up and then she'd bite a hot dog off the back while he's balancing the motorcycle.
And so the hot dog was dangling from a string, and the trick was, and without putting your feet down, for the person driving the motorcycle to be so skilled that and so slow that she, just using her mouth, can take a bite
hot dog, and it makes it look like a swamp hog is like eating, like sucking a dick that's coming out of the sky. The sky dick. Yeah. It looks like a swamp hog is sucking a sky dick.
Yeah. There's a reason it's a hot dog and not a carrot.
Yeah. They're all like biker ladies with long titties, and they're all standing, and they're all like, I'm trying to bite the hot dog.
So I remember getting two like radio bikers to do this, and then we got some sort of scaffolding with a.
Dude, there was a whole group of bikers. You don't remember them coming in and like driving in a circle to God Bless the USA or some bullshit?
Oh yeah, it was the bikers.
It was
that
a
were
ton of bikers. It wasn't two bikers. It was a whole group of bikers.
Yeah, but we only needed two for the halftime
contest.
show.
Yeah, but I mean the God Bless the USA parade at the beginning was amazing.
But we didn't use a swamp hog for the.
No.
Like we used
a Predators dancers.
Well, no, there was two girls behind the scenes that were like just in the back, and I remember like I was panicked, running like, who's gonna do this?
We'll do it. We love hot dogs.
And then the two girls agreed to do it. Like, hey, I just need to try to bite this hot dog off his thing. So it was like a last minute, and then they did it.
I need 2 hot dog gators.
And then,
I'm drinking a butter.
And then
I can't wait for one of those girls to come up to Tom and ask if she remembers him.
Your wife didn't do it?
No, she was out a long time ago. She didn't even go to the games anymore.
I rode on the back of a Proud Boys Harley and ate hot dogs for you.
But one of the girls was the daughter of like a super prominent lawyer in town, and then like got super pissed, and then threatened to sue the Predators if they didn't take the images down.
Take the images of my daughter sucking those sky dicks off the fucking Predators website.
And then I think Bushy was yelling at me like, "Why'd you choose the goddamn lawyer's daughter?"
Yeah.
And then I was just like, anybody backstage?
You chose Sally Bogan Munzenman.
I was going to say Sally Newland.
We were going to do one of them, right? It was going to be Sally no matter what.
Lisa Bogan!
It's the Bogans! You got the Munzenmans!
All right, let's take a break. And when we come back, we'll do some dump them out.
Did you think the story was over?
Oh!
No, it was. It was. That was it. That was as far as I got.
Oh, my favorite one is the Pay Us law firm. They're local.
Yeah.
The Payos.
Mills and like
I think it's Payous.
There's three of them. It's Payos.
Yeah.
But I like that it's Payos because it's like, hey,
Can
man.
you pay us my bills?
Payos. I love it. I love it. That's my favorite one.
It's real close to
their name to that, do you think?
Well, it's real close to the wife, so I've seen that sign like a billion times, and it was like Payos and Anderson, and then one of the kids graduated law school. They're like, get the fuck out of here, Anderson. It's Payos
and
now.
I think it is their name, but it is the greatest fucking name, right? Payos. It's like, that's your guys.
There's one that advertises on the bus that me and my kid like because we get behind this bus every once in a while, and Pardo and Rodriguez. And
the guy with the glasses.
We act like they're buddy cops, and we come up with like buddy cops.
They look tough.
Pardo, you gotta come and help me out, the crime syndicate.
Yeah.
Okay, Rodriguez, I'm on the way. We do that a lot.
We should do brackets on our website of all the local attorneys and vote on which ones we think are the coolest.
DeWitt, all the way.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
He'll be our
brackets.
He'll win.
Let's take a break. What do we got first here?
Let's see here. This is going to be a band called Movements, and the name of the song is "I Hope You Choke." So that's not very good. But enjoy this, and we will be back.
I hope it's like a country song where it comes around at the end.
We'll see. Is this going to work? Hey, it worked. We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan right after this. If you like tugging and plugging, then you need to plug in to all of the great deals on sexual wellness products at Fair Villa. That's pretty good. Tugging and plugging. And then you need to plug in. You get it? Like you plug into. They're a wealth of knowledge.
Maybe they do one.
Fair Villa University. Find them on YouTube. Learn how to pleasure your partner.
Multiple locations, a brand new location in Sanford, right off Reinhardt Road.
Yes.
Whether you want the costumes, the lingerie.
Lingerie. You got some festival wear. Maybe you need some boots.
Yeah.
Maybe you need some kitschy roller skates for a costume party or Halloween coming up.
You want an oversized sequin general hat?
Yeah. If you want an oversized sequin general hat, they got them. They even got them with goggles on the top.
Of course, their mega store right there in OB OBT. They got a location on the coast, a location in Secrets Hideaway in Kissimmee, down in Key West.
If you want a pair of socks that have a middle finger on them and it says "fuck you," you can get them right there.
Yeah, tons of gag gifts, marijuana-themed gifts, and
coffee mugs and games and dirty dice and then high-end lingerie and really nice gowns and really nice pajamas.
When you're in there, mention that you heard it on Tom and Dan. That
I thought you were going to say another show. I was like, while you're in there, please mention that you heard it and then enter any other show but ours.
You can go to fairvilla.com for all information and follow them on social media. They'll let you know about all their upcoming Fairvilla University deals and everything they got. It's fairvilla.com.
Tugging and plugging.
On the weekend.
Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha and Ross hanging out with you on a beautiful Free Show Friday.
The fact that Deion Sanders' feet are rotting off
makes me sad.
Solidifies the fact that there is no God. Because what kind of God would rot the feet of Prime
the fastest man? Yeah. I feel like
Mr. Primetime?
Do you think it has everything to do with being that fast? And the circulation is terrible because of the amount of abuse he put his feet through?
No, it's just random.
Okay.
Catch me up. It's not like diabetes or something?
Yeah, I have no
think
idea
it is. I think it's just he's getting older, though, right?
No, it's not diabetes. He's got some sort of genetic disease.
Stiff person problem like
old Celine Dion?
has?
No,
Is it Raynaud's disease where you have bad circulation and your toes rot off?
I forgot exactly what it is, but it's just some genetic thing that runs in his family that causes your toes and like your extremities to lose circulation.
I'm okay with my toes rotting off. You know, my mom, it really...
but then it goes to your feet.
It broke her heart, though. It broke my mom's heart when she lost her toes. I was like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know?
If I lose like 2 toes, just give me those fucking Blade Runner feet.
Like, can you run if I lose... like all my toes and I have like Smurf feet with no toes where they're just like little boots. Can I still run?
You need your big toe.
No,
it's
a pinky toe, right? It's a pinky toe that has to do with your balance, I think.
I thought it was big toe.
I could be wrong.
I thought it was your big toe that is your balance
Look,
toe.
you guys are like way off topic. I'm talking about having little boot feet with no toes.
I mean, dogs run.
Can I run?
They got little stumpy feet.
But they got toes, I think, and they flex. Like if I don't have any toes and I have little boot feet, like little, like imagine my
That is
foot.
what we would call you, by the way.
Little boots.
Little boot feet.
Yeah, and we would do a nude little dinosaur movie, and I'd be the tiniest one. If you chop my toes off, and then they healed, and I had a little foot, would I lose the ability to run because I don't have any ability to flex on the top of my toes?
There's really only one way to find out. Sam, get the K-bar.
I think you'd be constantly like falling forward or like,
falling in reverse.
Michael J. Fox runs. I don't
Ronnie
know if you watch that documentary. I think you'd run like that. Anyways, let's do some dump.
All right, Dump 'em Out is ready to go.
We got too many topics on the list today. It's the end of the motherfucking show. So come on, baby, let's dump them out and play. I want to see your topics. Ooh, I want to also see your bottom mix.
Dump 'em Out brought to you by a show we're trying to put together, and Sam's trying to assist with this. And I know the West End.
I'm already not going.
And Dom wanted to put together a BDM band only show.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this, man. Like, this will be really
Yes, if you're
cool.
a BDM or musician, Dom from the Supervillains is also the booking agent for the West End, and he is looking to do a BDM band showcase. Tentatively Saturday, October 7th. But if you are interested, please email him your social media pages, your websites, your Spotify playlists, all of that at booking@drinkatweston.com by next Friday, September 8th.
We're calling it Battle of the Perverts.
And they're doing it in that new little performance space to the side there?
I would assume so.
It's a really good room to see a show. I've done a couple comedy shows there. The guy who runs the sound system is a fucking maniac about perfection. It's amazing.
He is.
And it's a great sound system, great little room to see a show in for sure.
And we'll promote promote the show, promote your bands if you want to be involved.
I'll be out there checking it out.
Yeah,
man,
100%.
that'll be super duper fun. So yeah, if you have that stuff, reach out.
What do we got, Sam?
So somebody posted in the BDM group that they had went to a garage sale and found some graph paper for some reason. They were interested in buying some graph paper, and within the graph paper, there was a sheet that was pre-written on, and it was interesting. It's called Rules for Bear. Did you guys see this?
Is it bear or bean? I thought it was bean.
I thought it was bean too, but bean doesn't make
It is bean over here, but here it says bear, and then there's a bear drawn up here,
There you
so
go.
I don't
That's a
really
good
know.
point.
I
That's a
think
good point.
bear makes a little more like logical sense to me than bean for some reason.
So was this
Yeah.
written like in between the blank
He
pages?
said it was like a random sheet within what he bought.
And it's not graph paper, so it must have just been sucked into the graph paper.
That's what I'm
Oh,
thinking.
okay.
This
yeah.
is no different than when I'm like reading a Bible and a treasure map falls out.
Sure.
So at the top it has kisses, back crack, smooch, XOXOXO.
And then
there's-
we will learn those are the rewards.
Yeah, that's at the bottom.
Oh, back crack. That's not a reward.
That's pretty
God,
good.
I would take one
I love
right
a good
now.
back crack.
No, you're going to have to jack me off.
So rules number 1, no lying to daddy. Number 2, tell daddy when you break a rule. Number 3, let daddy know when he does something you don't like.
Wait a minute. This is for Maisie.
At a certain point, when you first start, you're thinking, okay, this is a list of
It starts
rules
out
I
pretty
wrote this.
innocent.
This is
some
harmless.
dad
It's
put down for his kid.
completely harmless.
Put this in Maisie's lunchbox. Call it a day.
Well, stop at number 5.
Yeah,
I
it
think.
takes a turn.
So number 4, no self-harm or skipping meals.
I believe in that because it's hard to get Maisie to eat. We have a topic about that on our dump amount list.
Number 5, tell daddy everything, parentheses, no secrets.
Still on board. Still on board.
Still on board. Number 6, say good morning and good night as soon as possible to daddy.
This is mine. I wrote this.
It does say Dan on the book. Number 7, send daddy pics. Cute, meals, naughty.
No, that's not me.
There's where we take a turn.
Yeah,
Naughty,
that's-
send daddy naughty pics.
If naughty wasn't
I'm
in
off
there,
the
you'd
road.
still be like, I don't know, maybe.
But
I'm
not
off the
for a
road.
kid could be, you know, like
If you do something bad, send me.
Yeah, show me you throwing a stick at a cop car.
Daddy, I've been playing with matches.
Yeah, what have you done?
Okay, cool.
Show
Number-
me a picture of you saying the F word on the playground.
So let's pretend naughty wasn't in number 7,
Okay,
right?
so
Let's go
roll.
to number 8. No cheating on daddy. Daddy has feelings too. Sad face.
Yeah, don't have anybody else pretend
You don't
to
want
be...
to cheat Monopoly,
if
right?
you go over to a
Right.
person's house,
Family
don't
game.
let Mr. Tom pretend to be your daddy because he's fun in the pool.
What is this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Number 9, keep daddy's feelings in mind. He can be hurt just like you.
Well, this
still, like, again,
No,
we
it's-
took a few words out of there. You'd be like, all right.
I guess.
Number 10, no other boys without daddy's permission. There's a
Yeah.
lot of guys that make the joke of sitting on the shotgun waiting for a boy to come take
No,
the car
no,
out.
no, no. Not me. I don't need
I'm
to
trying
do
to be
that.
devil's advocate.
Yeah,
If you
I
take
got
the word other out, it could
Sure.
be that, but the other implies that daddy is one of the boys.
Yeah,
Right,
it does.
Doing
right,
boy
right,
stuff.
right.
That's a gross.
The bear.
Number 11, no pleasing self without daddy's permission.
Yeah, that's not something I would say. That's way
It
weird.
depends on how you
Define
define
pleasing yourself?
Yeah, no
You
video
eat a
game.
delicious cupcake.
No Minecraft without daddy.
Yeah.
Number 12, remember that daddy is proud of you and wants to marry you.
That's not me.
Number 13,
I am proud of her, though.
always tell daddy your feelings, no hiding them. And then we have a list of punishments, a list of rewards, and then a note. So punishments are Stuffy gets put in Stuffy jail for 1 day.
So what I'm guessing that you're gonna tuck
that
her
a butt?
you tuck her bush into her panties for a full 24 hours.
No, daddy's fucking a person who still has an emotional attachment to a stuffed animal.
Yes.
That's what's going
Oh,
on
well, you
here.
stick it in the microwave.
Which somebody in the BDM group did make a good point. They're like, wait, this is fucked up. So if Bean makes a mistake, Stuffy gets locked in jail? That's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it
Well,
hurts Bean to put Stuffy in the microwave.
It's like, you know, if you've captured, I don't know, you've captured Rambo, you can't hurt Rambo, but if you bring his girlfriend in the room and start slapping her around, Rambo's going to tell you what you need
By
to know.
Actually, Ross
yes.
Rambo doesn't care about his girlfriend. You get to choose his family or daughter. You know, like Rambo is like, hey, oh, fuck him.
Rewards are given and they can be taken away.
I say that, though. I do say that.
I'm not sure how you take back a back crack, though.
You can't.
Just push their head down.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tooth.
And then last punishment, non-sexual spankings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll hit you.
This is a bad one.
That's hitting,
Rewards.
right? That's like beating someone up, right?
Rewards, coloring books,
Holy.
build a pillow fort together, Makeover for daddy and delayed bedtime.
Where was this garage sale? I gotta
He said he doesn't remember.
I would have said, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that means this is yours, Bean. I'm talking to you, Bean.
And then the note, daddy can alter rules and punishments. These are just the main rules. Smaller rules should already be drilled into your head.
Drilled into your head?
Rinse out your juice cup, motherfucker.
It just
Load the
reminds me.
dishwasher.
It reminds me that there are some grade A weirdos out there that are so far beyond.
Somebody's listening to our podcast right now and going, oh, shit. While they're
They
writing
got
their
my
rules.
they got my email. Yeah.
I got to write the rules out for Barry again.
Are the real weirdos, they act normal around like their work and everybody else, and then they're super weird at home?
Yeah.
And then they're in this like some weird fetish.
So in the
We never saw these coming.
it's
He
called
never had no Nazi
DDLG.
flags or anything. Like, right? Like, you always
I'm gonna
It's
take a
called
leap.
DiBiase, the wrestler.
I'm going to take a leap here and say that it's in the BDSM community. There's something called DDLG, which is Daddy Dom Little Girl. And it sometimes can be the equivalent of when people think of, it's also, there's that diaper fetish where guys dress up in diapers and the ladies act like the mommy.
Yeah.
This is the
They
reverse
change 'em.
of that.
I've always wanted Andrea to change me and then wipe all the smeared shit off my ass.
But then she blows you.
I know.
Yeah, it's real weird.
Is the shit still on my ass? Just crack the diaper. Just crack the diaper. I'll shit after the blowjob. I promise. We don't have
What
to do
about
that.
during?
Now, here's the thing.
I don't know if I'm
A
talented.
blumpkin? You down for a blumpkin?
I don't know if she's blowing me. I don't think I can shit in the diaper.
Now, okay, so
It's two different releases at the same time.
Yeah. It's impossible.
Could be the best feeling ever.
It's impossible. It's like sneezing while peeing. You can't do it.
let's talk about this because I know that people shouldn't kink shame, and if two consenting adults are
do
doing
whatever you
whatever
want
the hell they
I mean,
want,
I can still think it's weird.
But
I'm not going to shame you for it.
I don't know anybody that if someone found out, like let's say Daniel, right?
Why did it have to be me?
So I'll
Because he did start out saying this could be your letter.
Wow, I mean, because it did.
Okay,
like,
well,
it was
then-
harmless, but I do not revolve in the world of daddies and doms and butt plugs and any of that. Like, I'm horny and I want to fuck a lot, but I'm as boring as it fucking comes.
Just make it Rambo again.
Okay, let's.
Yeah, make a Rambo.
Okay, because Daniel fucks around too much. So let's use Sam as the example, right? So
That's an example.
if someone told us like that we knew this was true, or like Sam like dresses Travis up in the diaper and then she pretends to be the mommy, there's a crib in their house that they go in their spare room, and then there's this huge
No, well, first of all, no one would believe it because I don't even like kids. So why would I want my
Yeah, but
husband?
that's why
but
the
it's the
kink
best
is
kid is an adult.
and the businessman gets dominated. You know, like you reverse what you protest
and
in
again,
public.
I don't, what do I care what anybody likes to do?
And you may just say that. I mean, behind closed doors, I mean, like, look, like what you like, you know?
Yeah.
This just may be some weird thing you like.
And then you're like changing Travis and like wiping his ass, and he's pooping in the diaper.
Yeah, putting him in a onesie.
Yeah. And then it goes, I've seen the videos, and then it goes further, And then,
I've never seen her blow the baby. I've only, I mean, like the man baby. I've
never watched any of these.
I've watched them, but it's always them shitting.
Yeah, but
and then
why
getting,
are you staying to watch?
and then getting cleaned up.
curiosity.
I've never seen them get to the sexual part. I usually check out. I'm just like, all right, you cleaned him up, put a fresh diaper on. I'm out.
I figure you just get a bottle and you're done, right?
But there's no way that I'll ever.
Too hot, you idiot! You use the
Put it in
microwave.
your wrist or what, you fucking idiot?
I cannot look at Sam the same after I've learned that information ever again.
But how would you treat me differently?
I wouldn't.
Okay.
But in my mind,
would you
I'd be
tip her
like,
off in
oh,
there?
the baby.
He would fuck up and say something
I think
weird.
I could keep it to myself and just be like, I mean, whatever. And then I think you would freak out because as soon as she'd walk in,
Diaper.
But you know,
He just
diaper.
Scream diaper.
but you know what it is? It's like it means to me, and this is not true, and this shouldn't be true, that like all the rest of your personality is somehow fake, or what else are you hiding, or something. When it doesn't
Well,
have to,
that's what people want to say. It's not true,
but
that's
it
what
is
people
true.
want to say.
Yeah, because it's like just because you have this thing that's considered weird in society, but it's what you like, it's what your partner likes. Who gives a shit? It doesn't bother anybody.
Right.
But then how like. To me, it's like, well, what else?
Well, I
so
do a variation
shocking.
of that, right? Like, okay, I'll give you a variation of that. Man dressing up, like grown-ass big man dressing up like baby and the whole diaper deal, right? And acting Google gaga and talking like a baby and all of that. I mean, am I on the spectrum? Because, and I did it in front of you guys. I pick up Dansby. I'm like, hey, little boy, you're my guy.
No,
but is that a?
No,
but
everybody
is that
does
a? But it's not how I really talk.
Yeah, but that's a thing that everybody does. The dogs.
Is it
and
a
babies.
variation of that?
No. When you're sucking the baby's dick.
Oh my! Don't say that.
It's a man baby. It's a man
Yeah, you
baby.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and there's a full-size crib and there's shit. You're like pretending to be the mama.
It's not even the
baby's
it's not
like,
even the sucking of the dick that bothers me.
Oh God! Stop!
I'm saying that's the whole thing.
Gross, mama. And especially with Sam, you'd be like, "Oh, big ass titties."
Yeah, I mean, some
Like turn Asian.
some dudes like to get pegged by their wife
Yeah.
with a strap on.
I know a guy. I know a guy that does that.
And then
I know a guy.
I was like, what?
I do. I know a guy.
Like, if my friend,
I know a guy that'll be like, "It's your turn tonight." I did you last night.
Like, I'm seeing my Miami friends this weekend,
Yeah.
right?
Chances are one of them's been pegged.
Speaking of pegging.
Oh, of course.
Porno
Joe's been pegged.
I'm going to his house for a Labor Day
I didn't even know. I was guessing.
pool party.
Fernando the Pegger. He pegs all the time.
So all my Miami friends will be there, and I'm like, chances are one of them is into some weird ass shit that I would be like, I'd make fun of them.
100% chance. And so, like, them, Sam with the baby thing with Trav, like, you
Which
just...
is not true, by the way. Let's not start spreading that rumor.
Just somehow you found out what a friend of yours does in their bedroom in private, which they keep secret.
Right.
Just because everybody keeps their bedroom shit private, it's the same. What if you just found out they're doing plain ass vanilla missionary every night? Like, it's something they keep private in their bedroom. What's the difference?
So, but is most people boring, and that's just the extreme outlier, or like chances are someone like one of my friends, like let's say out of the 8 of them, one of them is doing some weird ass shit, or
it's
is it
weird
like
to you, but
one
to
out
them,
of
it's just what gets them off.
I was going to say, because it's subjective, right?
Yeah.
Because what's weird to some people might not be weird to other
Like,
people.
to me, the only thing that really makes it weird, because dress how you like, act like how you like, or whatever, the only thing that makes it weird is you're pretending to be a child. And whenever anybody combines children stuff with sex stuff, I get a little weirded
I
out.
agree
But
with
that's
that.
just me.
Well,
You know, like, if you're not touching children or behaving, like, then I guess, I'm being serious, you're just fine doing that because you are an adult and you're just living out a fantasy. And that's totally fine. But for me, I'm like, I don't know.
Like, if I found out, like, Turkey Leg's wife is putting on
She
a
dressed up like a turkey.
Why would you say that
She
about
has to
his
dress
leg?
like a turkey
Why
and
did
get
you choose
stuffed.
her, though? Why did he choose her?
Well, we know they don't
he's like-
swing because they fucking failed at the pool test.
That's true.
That's true.
But like,
That's true. No tag for them.
If like we've had like
Forgot about that, Ross.
Your wife like puts on a strap on and boofs you.
Boobs. What are you,
Like,
12?
No, I'm just saying that's fine. Who cares? It's like none of my business.
It's
But
oddly shaped
I'd
like
be
a turkey leg.
Like, what is about like? Would you
You
like
say
it?
none of my
Why?
business, but then you're getting all in his business.
Right. But like
I'd be
me,
is
like,
it good?
there's-
I'd be
he
curious,
sits you
like,
down
how
and
Well,
good
it's
is
good
it?
if he's doing it,
He
right?
sits you down and
I don't
explains
know.
there's a thing called the prostate,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
stimulates it and makes you come fucking buckets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. I would just say, like, well, can you make it shaped like a dog bone instead of a dick? Because, like, same thing. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just,
Sure.
there's no problem. I have no problem with any of it. I'm just
As long as
massaging it a
everybody's
little bit.
consenting, it's fine.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Absolutely true.
Like I get like or like you're hanging your purples. You got 2 purples.
Hanging your purples.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
you
saying,
know,
like
like
you're tying
ladies-
them up.
ladies
Hanging
like
with Mr. Purple. I used to watch that at school.
I guess that's the name of the show. That's fine for me.
And then it's like, yeah, she's
Mark
hanging in
Curry,
the bedroom.
old Mark
with
Curry
purple.
and his purple titties.
And it's like fine, it's like, but you get shocked because you just don't expect it. But I think
Well, that looks a little painful. I'm like, do they
Yeah.
stay purple for
Some
like
people
a
like
couple
pain,
days?
though. There's the whole pain pleasure thing.
And then-
That's fine, but something as beautiful as big ass titties shouldn't be all whipped purple. That's just like, I don't like to see titties in distress.
And there's no correlation between like the most normal people that you wouldn't expect this. They got the fetish. So it's like the person that's dressed goth and that's got like some
I'm getting back into that. I'm getting back into like goth ladies, goth girls.
You're just like Marilyn
got out,
Manson. You're
buddy.
like, oh, he likes to tie his wife up.
That bad example.
No. What I'm just saying,
You
you're
haven't watched
dressed-
that documentary.
He's a goddamn fucking vampire.
But it's like, oh, then that kind of makes sense to us. But if it's just like you're some nerd dad that is like,
I knew a guy.
and then you're like, you like that?
When I was working with the Monsters, I knew a guy, and I knew these 2 super fans that were rich people, and they had all the stereotypical Florida rich people things like McMansion, yacht, camper, 4-wheelers. They did Florida rich. So, and the guy dabbled in. He could claim that he dabbled in photography. and he would hire models to
I
come.
know who this is.
And they would come and then he would photograph them. And then if they were down, he would continue to photograph them. The wife would come in and get involved and stage things. And then he'd just stand in the corner and whack it.
See that?
And it was all consenting and all above board, and they paid everything. But they were just standard construction. Nothing else. Going to church the whole night. You would never know. But this guy, on the weekends, they were taking photos, and he's standing in the corner.
Have you guys ever watched Stealing Harvard? For some reason, Travis and I watched that recently, and there's
I don't know what you're talking about.
Pesci?
No. There's a scene where this guy's kink is that he hires men to come over and dress like his wife passed away like a couple years prior, and they put a wig on and a dress, and he just spoons them all night. That's the kink.
That is weird.
Yeah, I mean, there's something for everybody.
But now the swinging and the
this wasn't really
threesomes-
swinging. This was just the guy wanted to take photos
that's
and
like
jack off.
Yeah. I guess that's you're having your wife with another lady like that. That's kind of normal in the.
It's not.
To you.
How many people here have done it?
You could go to a church right down the street and find a bunch of people who would say, that's fucking
Of course.
the worst.
Exactly.
You know?
No,
It's
but
all
It is subjective, yeah.
But I'm saying that compared to the baby in the crib is the baby.
There's whole communities of it, though.
Weird.
Yeah, the baby thing is a little weirder than
So let me ask you this: we're all making fun of this list of rules that one partner has for another. Are we not all in relationships where there are, written or unwritten, a list of rules and punishments and rewards? Like, if
But I'm not cracking backs. I'm not doing it.
I just cracked my wife's back this morning, not as like part of a punishment or
so
a reward.
good.
I'm too
But,
small
like,
to crack her back.
But like, there's certain things like just off the top of my head, I know for a fact that my wife hates it when you do that thing where you take the end of the straw wrapper off and you blow the remainder like into their face. You know what I'm talking about?
Of course, who likes
Very
that?
rude.
What
It's
the
very
hell?
rude.
I understand
It's a bully move. It's a
nobody
bully
likes
move.
that, but I know that it will make my wife violently angry if I do
Oh,
it.
I
So
like that.
it's on the list. It's like there was a list.
Okay.
It would be don't blow straw wrappers in my
I
face.
knew I liked her. I mean, I'm the same way. Maisie will do it to me. I want to punch her in the face.
Yeah, it's a
I
fun
hate
little
it.
joke to me and the kids.
And the other one I hate is the worm. Maisie does the worm.
What's the worm?
You push the paper of the straw as tight as you can all the way down, and then you slide it off, and then you take a little bit of your soda and put it on the worm, and then it
expands.
grows, it expands, and then it gets the whole fucking table of soda everywhere.
What? The
Hold on.
worm.
Someone in this room is into some weird shit.
I think we probably all are. It'd be weird to one of us,
No,
right?
I am not. I promise you. I swear to God, I'm not. I talk a big game, and I've had more partners than you. I'll give you that. But if it's spicier, you have the win on me. I have never had. I've had just standard. I've never done anal ever.
Yeah. But I mean, nothing
crazy. I've just
you want
done
to be humiliated.
No,
or,
none of that. I've never
yelled at.
tied anything up.
I'm not going to say any specifics,
Whipping.
but I do know a dry cleaner who will take cum stains out of a Cookie Monster outfit. So.
I've never done anything weird, and now I'll never do anything weird because I'm married with kids. And my wife.
That doesn't mean you can't do anything weird.
No, my wives will never do that. I'll bet my life on it. I'll bet every bit of money I have that I'll never get
sucks.
to like fuck her in the ass or like
come on,
ball gag her or anything or
Maybe when you're older,
Nope, never happened.
That's what I'm saying. Got nothing else
Dude,
going
it's
on.
never gonna happen. You know it too.
I know.
Why are you even looking on the bright side of this? You know it.
I know. Yeah.
There's nothing more true.
All right. What else is on the list?
We got the Victoria's Secret lawsuit, which I'm not familiar with.
Well, let's hold on that one. That one's a little too complicated. Let's jump because Bart Merrick actually gave me that one, and this is something we'll probably do on another show. But evidently, there was a time when Victoria's Secret was changing the prices in the catalog, and they would upcharge.
For bigger outfits or something?
No, they would upcharge men.
Oh, really?
Because I think they thought the guys were going to buy it, so there were different sets of prices for men and women. And then they got sued for it. So,
oh, really?
But it's a lot.
That's
I'd never heard
interesting.
it. I'd never heard it. Bart Merrick told me, and I was like, that's a damn good topic. So I had Sam jot it down, but I don't know if we could get into it today.
How would they even know? I guess in the store?
Catalogs. The mail catalogs got one price, and if it was in your name.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just going off of what Bart told me.
Sent out, yeah.
Maybe we could have Bart come
Interesting.
in. I love talking to him. He's always got some sort of cool tidbit of...
Because he goes to trivia.
Yeah, it's good, man. I love that dude.
I don't know if you guys remember, I told you I was teaching the AI of Facebook to only show me like ads that have ladies in bikinis and stuff.
No.
So like I was on Facebook one day and there's an ad for a lady like bikini sale or something, and I was like, well, shit, the AI tracks you and they give you stuff based on what you click on. That's why you see so many fucking weird videos, Tom. So I was like, shit, I'm going to click on this bikini ad and let them know I'm interested in bikinis. I've now trained it to the point where all I get is Victoria's Secret ads.
Really?
Oh, and they know the lady I prefer. They give me her most of the time. Yeah.
That's
it's awesome.
crazy.
It's awesome. I turn Facebook against this.
Why porn sites? And you go to a porn site on the right-hand side every single time. It's some short-haired old granny in her 70s with big hard titties and a big old bushy snatch, and she's like, "Singles in your area." And I'm
that
like,
must be what people are into in your
I
area.
know. And I'm like, I'm fucking 47 years old with this old fucking
the audio
granny.
is like, it's a robot voice. It's like, yeah, you like to fuck ugly grannies.
Do you like to fuck ugly grannies?
It's like that. It does.
I'm like, are you talking to me?
We're on the same thing. We're on the same algorithm.
Are you looking at me?
I'm sitting.
Are you talking to me?
I'm sitting in my kitchen. It's the middle of the night because that's where my laptop's at, and everybody's upstairs asleep. And I have my laptop at. It's like,
Would you like to fuck big ugly granny?
What the hell?
That happens to me to every video, and then I'm like, who likes to fuck ugly granny? Like,
Somebody does.
Yeah, but it's like, why
that one guy in Death Clock?
Why is that the most popular ad that me and Daniel are seeing? And I don't know if it can't be because you like different shit.
Squidward, skid off. Did I say that right?
It's like we're not
See if I
searching
can
grannies.
find it.
Like I never search grannies. I'll tell you
Do you
guys.
put milk?
You clicked on it. but-
Yeah, I do like older, like not older, but I like MILFs compared to like I'm not
Well,
into
they're
the
thinking eventually he's gonna
no-
graduate to GILF.
there's a whole website
Granny
called
hookups.
Ugly Granny.
Yes.
What is,
It's a whole
but it's like
Can we interview one of them?
I'm gonna throw up.
I imagine they're probably the ones looking for it, right? Like you go to that website and they pay you to fuck them, right?
I don't know, but they're marketing it like Ugly Grannies and Sanford Weed has the most marketing money because that's the only commercials I
that
get.
guy. I mean,
it's him and Grannies.
you want to buy the best weed in Central Florida?
How
Look
can it
no
be-
further than Chronic Guru.
How can it be the
I've
same?
got it memorized.
I've never seen that one.
Oh,
You've never seen the Chronic Guru?
I start every day with Chronic Guru.
But it's that or Ugly Grannies, and that's the only marketing I've get.
Every morning in my bathroom with the door shut, I see Chronic Guru.
Great Sugar
And I'm
Ray
like,
song.
hello, old friend. Ain't that right, Allie?
And then it's the Grannies, but then nothing else. How do we not get any other marketing? Anyway.
This guy needs to
Sometimes,
hire
no,
some
hold
grannies.
on. Sometimes I used to get Jerkmate, where it'd be like the
get
girl,
jerk.
she'd go, hi, no, you, hi, and I'm like, oh shit, like, it got me a couple times.
All right.
That girl's beautiful. By the
Do you
way.
want to end on the Stephen Segal Punani song?
Oh yes, yes.
So Dan brought this up the other day. He asked if we had heard of Stephen Segal's song, Punani song, which is actually called Strut.
Nobody knows any fucking music around here. Like nobody's
How
cultured.
dare you.
There's not one cultured musician person in this studio except for me. I know only the greatest song, like Strut by. I called it Punani. I didn't know the name of it. Let's see. Strut.
Is this when Stephen Segal started doing, dipping his toe into, like,
No, he's
music?
always been a blues kind of a guy, and apparently he's a decent blues guitarist. I'll give him that. I've heard tell that he's not bad, probably about as good as Jim Colbert.
This came out the year I graduated high school.
But I will say that this song makes a lot of Jamaican people mad because he speaks in like a fake Jamaican accent. You know, people from Jamaica love that when you do that. You know, when you steal like their entire culture and flush it down the toilet by saying things like Punani.
And then if you're Chet Hanks, you defend it ardently.
Yeah. And double down and do it on other shows. But this song, it's Stephen Segal featuring Lady Saw. It's called Strut. You'll hear Lady Saw, and then I'll have to kind of point out to you, Stephen, because they put so much like voice compression and so much sound effects and different filters on him. You can barely understand him.
Is this a cover of ZZ Top Strut? Is that a song?
No, this is his own. Like it's like world music. He does like world music. So this is. Let's see if it'll play here. Something's just nailing our internet today, dude.
Yeah, we've had.
I don't know if we're having
computer problems.
Yeah, I think it's mainly the internet in the area because I reset it and it's like absolutely nothing.
If it doesn't play, it's fine. It's oh, there it is.
Mr. Stephen Segal.
Nice Lady Saw. I like the beat, right? That was him.
Why? Tell me what you really want all night.
Did you hear that? Me want to put on it, better sleep all night. I can almost sound like it. Me want to put on it, better sleep all night. Pretty good, right?
What?
It gets worse. Keep going.
Okay. Here he goes. Here's the punani part.
Why? Tell me what you really want all night. Me want the punani, if you make me nice. Me want the body, him want the punani. I mean, do it nice. So. When the girls start to strut, you could look at their butt, you shouldn't do that.
Hold on. He says when the girls start to strut, you could look at their butt, you shouldn't do that.
Well, he knows.
Yeah?
He knows that.
Just a pity, not just there to cover her kitty.
No.
What? It's not
the
a
girl
pity.
dress is just as pretty, not just there to cover her kitty.
Oh, that's the pussy. Right? That's the punani. Somebody sync this up with Mitch McConnell freezing, like he's listening to it in his brain. Can someone do that? Like one of our listeners, make it so they ask the question and then make him freeze and then have this slowly fade up in his brain like he's listening.
Did he any chance record this before he was a gross old fat man?
It was slightly before that.
Okay.
Slightly before that. It was around the time when we talked to him on the Monsters is when this came out.
2004.
What is he saying there? Me want the punani.
Sleep with me tonight, I think. Right?
No, it's
good,
a
Russ.
little more Jamaican speak. It's me want the punani, C for make me nice.
Oh.
Like if
We
I get
want
the
the punani, C for make me nice.
I'll be in a better mood kind of thing.
I'll be in a better mood if you give me punani.
Is he the craziest celebrity?
He's up there.
I mean, because even like
Randy Quaid?
Yeah.
Doesn't Gwyneth Paltrow tell people to put like stones up their cunt?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
Goop and her company Goop and her daughter Apple.
But
And
I know there's been other
that's
like
weird.
celebrities
Weird,
that have mental illness or that are bipolar or something like that. But for him, I think it's all just the insane ego and narcissism that he's lived in, and so I don't think he's
crazy, but shouldn't be for any
like,
reason.
He's not mentally ill at all or suffers from any disease.
But we enabled him so much with his celebrityum that he actually became crazy because did we take all of his life
some
skills
call
away?
you the Stephen Segal podcasting, Tom.
Did we take all of his life skills away? Is that why he became a fool?
But he believes, and still, I 100% believe that he believes right now that he's still the best, and
Yes,
still,
he does.
Like,
He's delusional.
Isn't he living in Russia right now? He's got like Russian citizenship.
He was,
did go there at a certain point.
Yeah.
I think some of it might have to do with martial arts because I know I've encountered guys that are not famous but are like martial art enthusiasts. For example, like no, not who I'm thinking of. The guy that I learned karate from in Georgia, like he strutted around like a fucking rooster. He was just some security guard at a goddamn Milliken plant, and he taught karate to kids. But he like had this attitude, like he was fucking Steven Seagal. Like he strutted chest out, strutted, and was
Fred Simmons.
Yes, a
Yeah,
Fred
Fred
Simmons.
is.
Yeah.
This is the top tier Fred. This is the ultimate Fred.
right, 10 out of 10, Fred. Yeah.
If you like, I run across, and it's probably because I watched him a couple times, but stories about Steven Seagal from other celebrities and Rob Schneider, and then also, God, who's the guy that had the one man show that played Mario in the 80s?
John Leguizamo.
Leguizamo has a story about Steven Seagal on the set of that movie they both were
God,
in.
he would be so happy if the Mario movie was your pull for him. He would be excited.
And then the stories they tell about this guy is that he's so delusionally narcissistic that and he lives in his own like bubble. But by
the first
like,
tell to me is his hair, right? Like you can look at his hair and tell he's a narcissist.
Yeah, but he believes he's a deity now because he paid some money to Dalai Lama. That's what Rob
So he
Schneider-
believes he's a god.
Hey, listen, there's people who are buying a square foot of Scottish land and acting like they're a goddamn lord or a lady.
I have
So
one of those.
that's fine.
Yeah, I
it's
have one of
fine.
those.
Like, could you imagine just like hanging out with Steven Seagal? Remember
It'd
his
be
fucking,
awesome.
like we joke around about a show that he believed he had like some special powers.
That was before he went super crazy. That was right before like he was on a show and then we were laughing about it because he had joined the Louisiana, like this parish Louisiana. Is that the name of the city?
I think him and Shaq were on the same like department.
Might have
right?
been, yeah. But it was parish Louisiana. He joins as a cop, and then they're all like, "Grr, grr," so they're like, "We got us a real trained super soldier, like whatever. So he joins.
Yeah.
And then they do the show, and part of the show was like they'd be cruising, and then they'd pull up for like a house, and he'd like be casing it with his eyes, and he'd be like, hold on.
I'm reading.
This window's open. I can sense it. And
like Mac on its own. All he's saying, he's doing a visual assessment.
and they would do they would make it like he had spider sense, and they make it look like he could feel windows breaking or he could feel the presence of the burglar.
Yeah.
So I'm reading about it. It says Segal has been described as a, quote, pathological liar due to his propensity of making greatly exaggerated or outright fabricated statements about his personal life and achievements. For instance...
Him and Joe Biden, right?
For instance, Segal has claimed that he was the student of the founder Aikido, and I'm not going to be able to say that name, but let's just say the founder of that, which is a martial arts, despite the fact that he died in 1969 when Segal was 17, and 5 years before, Segal moved to Japan at age 22, when he moved there to allegedly avoid the draft for the Vietnam War. So, like, he said he was the student under this great founder of this martial art. He was dead before. Yeah, so, I mean, he's delusional.
Yeah. How much would you pay?
Don't want
It's
to
one of those
fight
people that exaggerates and then they believe their own lies.
How much would you pay for Steven Seagal to get into the octagon? With just like, let's say, something you just take.
He's smart enough not to do it.
No, I know. But
I mean, I'd give a couple $100 to watch it for sure. I mean, right out the door, I'm in. Like, if you said they're doing it,
amateur, like
if they said they're doing it, I'm buying it, and I'm having a party.
MMA guy.
Let's have him fight Jake Paul. Let's make it a fucking show. Let's do it.
Like
that would be
right?
so awesome. It's like two of the most hated people in the world, and you could be on
make
opposite
500
sides.
million.
Guess what?
Would be huge.
Guess what's opening, Dan? The Lonely Island Boys. We're on.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
Now's your time to
the
shine.
Iron Boys are the undercard. They fight each other. The loser has to blow the other one, right?
There's so much good stuff that we're
They'd
not
be fighting
ever
to
going
lose,
to
then.
Hezbollah comes out there. Shaquille O'Neal's rocking him like a baby.
What do you think Steven Seagal would do if you asked him if you'd met him before?
Oh my God!
like, what is his personality?
Is he
normal at all? No,
he's not.
No, he's doing
He wears tiny
banana.
little glasses that are
orange.
blue or orange.
It depends.
He changes. They're like red, blue. He wears like little colored glasses, and he wears a long black trench coat because he's big and fat. And then he has slicked. He has he has comic book man hair.
71.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's an old. That's why you don't see any really recent photos of him, is because he's in disrepair.
Yeah, his body's under siege.
He's still got jet black hair. It's a crazy
And goatee. He won't let that goatee go.
Yeah, and it's a jet black goatee too,
Yeah.
which almost looks like somebody shot it out of a cannon and it stuck to his face. It's like,
And I feel like he sits at home and watches his own movies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
and punches the drywall.
God, can you imagine dating him? Oh, he'd force you to watch all his movies.
What if he was laying on top of you going, "Give me the banana"?
Banana, make me feel nice.
I think
Andrea said she wants me to sing that song to her tonight in bed. I'll do one better. I'll sing it to your banana. Come on. I'll go.
All right.
Wait a minute. In 2021,
What?
Segal presented the Venezuelan president with a samurai sword
Yes.
on behalf of the Russian Foreign Ministry.
Yeah, I remember this. That's when everybody was like, "This guy is a goddamn. He loves Putin." And then he has Russian citizenship, and he's like in Putin's. He's like training with Putin's troops.
That headline sounded like a Mad Libs.
Right.
It's true though.
It's
What
so
the
crazy.
hell?
There's got to be a documentary. Please tell me there's some tapes that's because like
There's no way he would allow them access to like do a real documentary.
he may if
Like old stuff pops up, you mean?
No, I'm saying he's hired. Maybe he's hired someone to tape him for his own personal documentary, and somehow when he dies, the tapes will get released or something, and then they'll put together the craziest of Steven Seagal.
man.
Because sometimes that happens.
That's
Like
true.
narcissists will film themselves like and then
Oh, he already did this
Oh, he did.
in 2001. The Path Beyond Thought. This documentary shows footage taken from Segal sensei days in Japan at the Tenshin Dojo in Osaka, early days in America, and some of the recent seminar in Santa Barbara. We can see him demonstrating, teaching, and administering tests.
No, I want to see.
But he's putting that himself out. So
Right.
he's not gonna,
Yeah.
But there's that.
But
means
she's saying there's probably backup footage
there's
too.
great.
Yeah.
There's behind the scenes,
Yeah.
great, and then when he dies, maybe that shit will get released
Maybe.
because for sure his estate will all be sold and torn apart by.
Oh my God, his estate. What are you talking about?
He's got
he has like cowboy boots and a pair of jeans.
Dude, he's probably got millions somewhere in like properties and shit. He made a lot of money.
Maybe because of his Russian ties. I'll give him that.
And
I bet he has a dojo somewhere.
Do you think he's good with money?
No, but
I mean, the goatee says no.
Even if he wasn't,
that's a convertible goatee.
He's got some houses that are worth something. His estate is worth millions, and his family will rip it apart.
You
whoever
can't put
that
a
is,
price on Punani, Tom.
and they'll sell the tapes, and then we'll see the real Stephen Segal behind the scenes, and it'll be the best thing ever. We
I
just
don't
gotta
think
wait.
he's concealing a lot.
I was going to say, I think it's going to be the same.
No,
I think that's who he is.
There's a lot of interviews of him acting straight crazy.
We'll see the craziest one because I think he's smart enough to guard a lot of that shit and hide a lot of it.
I do think he's smart.
Yeah, I mean, to the point
I do
where
not.
He's not smart, but I mean, smart.
No, I think he is. I think he's smart enough to control that. I mean, he's a narcissist, and he says stupid shit, but
we want to see the behind the scenes crazy beyond crazy Stephen Seagal.
I think we'll get it.
It exists. Anyway.
We
Ross,
never got it with Jean-Claude. We only got the boner dance and then the Volvo commercial, but that's fine.
I don't think Jean-Claude was that crazy.
Harmless. He's
He was dumber
seems
than
sweet.
anything.
He seems kind of sweet, like a nice guy.
Yeah, you do some splits.
He's just like, hey, you want me to do movies? All right.
I'll dance with you. I got a boner.
Movie with Dennis Rodman? Yeah, let's do it.
Ross, any guests recently on Tots with Ross?
We just did Kevin Dean. That one's still out there, still really good. And I'll just run you through my September shit real quick. Shit Sandwich tomorrow. It's going to be a real good one. I'm going to book it any minute now. It's going to be awesome. Dan, you're coming out to see
Yes.
What Do You Want From Us live.
I'll be there.
That was a show Dan and Dan Stone came out to at the Bull and Bush. It's really fun. Audience controls the whole show. My friend Larry puts up a number of questions. You pick you got a little app in your phone. You pick everybody's set basically. And if you're lucky, I'll probably sing Blinding Lights at the end again.
That was fun.
The 15th of September, it's Moe's Comedy Jam at Tuffy's. Free fucking tacos. What else do I have to say? Just booked a minute ago. I'm going to host the Other Bar on 9/18. Come out and see me. First place I ever did comedy ever. And show I'm really looking forward to. 23rd of September, it's one of my fourth Saturday shows. I'm bringing Alex Libby down from Atlanta. We're doing Underwear Comedy. It's going to be a great lineup. Underwear Comedy at the Bull and Bush. That's going to be a $20 ticket. Got to make it worth her while to come down from Atlanta. She's bringing Atlanta comics with her, so it's going to be people you've never seen before, unless you've been up to Atlanta like Dan for beer and comedy and stuff like that.
Man.
Alex Libby, some Atlanta comics, some Orlando comics at the Bull and Bush on the 23rd, Underwear Comedy show. And I'll basically be starving myself for the next 3 weeks to get ready for that. So come see that shit.
Yeah. Well, you look good, but you're doing. He's challenging himself to he gets to his underwear gig, and that's cool.
I forgot to mention we just released a 5-year BDM best of.
Oh yeah, I forgot I scheduled that
for BDMs only, and we're going to be doing more of this where we curate content and release it for BDMs.
We make it easier for you guys to listen to it because we have so much damn content.
And we figured since it's the holiday weekend, Labor Day weekend, we'll put out some more content for BDMs, and that's like basically the best of BDM shows of year 5.
Yeah, kind of brings you up to speed. It's a good thing, and I had a couple listeners reach out to me that are newer BDMs, and they're like, there's too much shit. And I'm like, I know. But if you just listen to all of these, they're going to hit all the main inside jokes. Or if we have a callback that somebody's like Bob Lando, for instance. Well, or certain things. There'll be certain things on certain shows that you might catch on the BDM shows. We try to do a decent enough job of taking the year and getting everything that was behind the scenes for BDMs and then gift it to you. So if you're new, it's there.
And a new version of our app will be out soon. We fixed
It'll break in all new ways.
Yeah.
Just don't let Dan Cummins get a hold of it.
Oh my God.
We fixed a lot of the problems, or we didn't.
A lot of them.
I was like, how dare you take credit for all of Matt's work?
We did really nothing. Just a couple of emails.
And so that's going to come out soon on Android. The Apple version will, as soon as they approve it, will come out. But so new version of the app that hopefully works for all you
we
guys.
might even be able to schedule it so both apps come out at the same time. So it's possible to do it.
You know what's fun, Dan? I just the people who just started and there's like too much BDM shit to listen to. I got back into a podcast that I'd kind of phased out of. I've been listening to it in reverse order. So
I've done that before too.
We're going back in time. It's like being Merlin. You hear inside jokes before they get set up, stuff like that. It's really neat. And then
people appear and disappear on the cast.
Yeah, I think I did that with Crab Feast.
And like currently, Crab Feast is a good one to do. I'm doing it with Jimmy Pardo because I got off Jimmy Pardo because he talked shit about the weekend and just ran out of shit to listen to. So I'm back on the Pardo show.
He's accusing people of jacking his jokes and putting them on Netflix specials.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't heard that one yet.
I'll look that up.
But it's funny because now like this is the world we live in. Now I'm going back in time and now like they're just getting into COVID and stuff. It's like it's interesting to see how people in the minute were reacting to stuff. stuff. Listen to it backwards, guys.
Speaking of that, because every week we release an OG Friday Free Show, and we're in 2019 and the middle of 2019 now, and we're about to get to the beginning of COVID, so you can go relive because we'll release Friday Free Shows that is like when we first started talking about it and stuff. Like that's cool, interesting to me because
you could wear a mask while you're listening to it to make it like feel kind of like the same.
Get your Fauci baseball card out.
Yeah. You can think the world's not going to be the same again.
Sam, what's on Semantics this
week?
Well, tonight we'll be recording. We were going to be recording with the hosts of the Fourth and Dirty podcast with Jesse and Evan, but
I love those guys.
We're going to have to do a quick switch out with Jesse. So our co-commissioner of the Semantics Fantasy Football League, Christine, is going to be stepping in for Jesse. So it'll be Christine and Evan from Fourth and Dirty podcast.
Well, she's more beautiful anyway, so.
No, it's debatable on who you ask. And then Monday night, me and Travis, my husband, will be on Fourth and Dirty live at 8 p.m. on Twitch with them.
Awesome.
So twitch.tv/fourthanddirty.
You're going to put that on, are you going to share that on your Semantics feed too? Will I get notified
We'll
if I'm a fan?
probably push people to go to their feed and listen to their show.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there. I'll try and check you guys out. That'll be fun. Is there anything else we need to plug?
Don't draft Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah. Do you have it?
I got him in that guillotine
That
league.
doesn't matter. That league sucks.
He's already complaining about a hamstring. That means he knows
it's
the
happening.
fucking whole season's done, and
I
he's
hate
not
when I
going to
find
do
a string
shit.
in my ham. That's the
Who's got him in our money league?
I think it was a Susie that got.
That doesn't matter.
I think it was Sally.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Susie's too good. It doesn't matter.
He's not going to do shit this year.
All right, guys. Hey, thanks so much for listening. We love you. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday for BDM shows because we never not work. Okay? Bye.